pressure. That's probably a good thing, guys, because they expect a lot from him tonight in this bowl game.
Yeah, Gary Patterson's going to be leaning on some of those young guys to help fill the void as he takes on a very talented team on the other side of the field. Almost the reverse story, Mac, with the Oregon Ducks, where Vernon Adams, their quarterback, missed time. They struggle without him. Now that he's back 6 wins in a row, they have played really, really well.
Well, he's a great story. Comes in from Eastern Washington. He doesn't get there till August. He learns the offense. The team falls in love with him. He becomes their leader. He breaks a finger against his old team. He struggled with that finger at Michigan State. He comes back. They've lost 3 games in a row there with him out of the lineup. And now, Dave, in these last 6 games, the guy's hit 21 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, 35 made as a starter. This guy did a great job coaching at midseason.
Yeah, Mark Helfrich feeling very confident about his team coming into this game. And even without Boykin, we expect a lot of offense and a lot of points on the scoreboard. Here we go with a pro TCU crowd just down the road from Fort Worth here in San Antonio. And the Ducks will return the kick with the dynamic Charles Nelson shoved out of bounds. Very good coverage from TCU. And there is number 3, Vernon Adams, the senior quarterback, that grad transfer who was such a huge part of the story for the Ducks early on, and now as he's played so well down the stretch.
He was fun to talk to yesterday. They said when he got there, he felt a little uncomfortable. He went right into a players-only meeting. He stood up and said, let me tell you, I don't care who starts. This is about winning. And he said from that point on, it was his football team.
He and the Ducks have been like the Oregon of old down the stretch. 6 consecutive wins, the 15th ranked team in the country, and playing in what feels like at the start almost like a road game. Well, they're going to lean on that guy, Royce Freeman, who is a stud in the backfield. And Mac, when Oregon has the ball, he is one of our impact players.
Well, this is a guy that does everything. He rushed for 1,706 yards, 35 less than Leonard Fournette, and more than Ezekiel Elliott. And they've got some young linebackers that had to step up, moved them from safety, like Travin Howard, runs 4.6, but they're going to have to play well tonight.
The guys who've gotten more experience as the year has gone on. First pass attempt, and he's not going to get it off. That swarming TCU defense, which played well itself down the stretch. Josh Caraway with the sack.
Yeah, Big Josh is an all Big 12 first-teamer. He put a lot of pressure on the best offensive lineman, John Stone, for Oregon. Sometimes when you lose your star player on offense, the defensive players feel the need to have more intensity and pick it up, and that seems to be the case here early for the TCU defense.
Well, certainly different weather, but lots of us remember that performance on defense against Baylor in the regular season finale. A delayed handoff. Freeman got away from a couple tacklers, not the third. And the Ducks will go 3 and out to start this game. Nick Orr, the safety, with the tackle.
Nick's a really good football player, and that was a critical stop because you've got them backed up. You don't get much on the kickoff return. You've got to set your quarterback up. Bram needs to be with good field position early, get him some early easy throws, and both of these teams have been electric in the kicking game.
Well, we heard from Allison, number 25. You just saw him. Cavante Turpin. He's not a big guy, true freshman. He can be really dynamic in the punt return game. We're going to see a returnable punt. No, it hits the turf and kicks out of bounds. The senior Bram Kohlhausen. And this is the big story of this Alamo Bowl. No Trevone Boykin. Kohlhausen gets the start for TCU.
Yeah, guy's been around, 5-year senior, came off the bench, as we said in the open at Oklahoma. Really led them back, had a lot of confidence. He struggled against Kansas right after he lost his dad, which is very understandable. They want to see how the 5-year senior does tonight. He has the best feel of the offense. He's been around much longer than Foster Sawyer, so they're going to turn him loose and let him go. They'll use Foster if they need to.
Yeah, that's number 12, the redshirt freshman on the sideline. They will hand the ball off on first down in a nice hole right up the middle. Aaron Green, the senior, who is a San Antonio native. This is the first game in a long, long time that TCU has played in this Texas town. They've never played in the Alamo Bowl before, and they're hoping that the native Aaron Green will have a big game. They swing that pass out to Listenby, and that is covered well by the Ducks.
Joe Walker gets out there. He's the team's leading tackler. He's a linebacker that's tough. He's a senior, and he was really quick on that play. We are seeing that they're starting out very careful with Bram. Give him an easy throw, and now you're sitting down 3rd and 6. You're still going to try to make the first down, but you're probably not going to go crazy with him, even though we put him in an empty backfield here for the play.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of excellent field position on the first drive of the night for TCU. Oregon showing some pressure, and they bring pressure. Kohlhausen delivers. It's off the hands of Listenby. Not a bad pass considering the pass rush. Listenby had a chance to catch it.
Yeah, Oregon showed the blitz and then came. They brought the safety from the top. It freed the outside linebacker, and Tyson Coleman's another senior. 31st start for them. You don't want your quarterback hit. No, Bram said they said welcome to the Alamo Bowl with a good hit on him. It's a good throw, just a little bit off the mark for the first down.
I still thought Listenby could have, maybe should have caught it. Fair catch signal and made at about the 19-yard line. That's where the Ducks will have the ball for the second time when we come back to the Alamo Bowl. No score.
Hey, Ralph.
Fully healthy, but the season went downhill. A big loss at home to Utah, 62-20. Lots of questions around the program. Vernon Adams gets healthy, though. They improve in other aspects. They won their last 6 games. They come in red hot here to the Alamo Bowl. And Vernon Adams with his first completion of this bowl game for a nice gain on first down from the Ducks. Braylon Addison, who became his big play receiver as the year went on.
Yeah, Braylon does so many different things for them. He's really good in space, and they'll try to get it to him as many times as possible.
A quick snap, and Freeman with a big hole up the middle. Ty Summers saved an even bigger game, but it's a first down for the Ducks.
And Royce is a 230-pounder at 5'11", so he can pound you inside. He's got the speed to get outside, and he can catch it out of the backfield. They could not say enough good things about Freeman yesterday in our meetings.
And speaking of, now the officials are going to wait and make sure that the substitution is finished before they allow Oregon to snap the ball. And they did so properly. So now Adams from the shotgun on first down. Another carry for Freeman. And another nice run outside the 40, close to the 42, a gain of 7.
And Dave, talking to the Oregon coaches, they felt like that TCU had not been pounded up front. Running right at them is something that they're going to try to do.
Adams faked it and keeps it, and Adams gets the first down across the 45. It's funny, Vernon Adams has a lot of athleticism back. You don't see him run all that much. He is a scrambling quarterback more than he is a running quarterback.
Yeah, and when he broke his finger, they lost 3 games. So they said, you get down, take care of yourself.
Stay healthy. Nobody in the backfield with Adams. And for now, nowhere to go with the ball, being pressured. Getting to the outside, and he'll throw right on the money on the sideline, complete for a first down to Dwayne Stanford. And you can hear the boos. TCU fans thought there was a hold that allowed the play to continue.
But what a dart Vernon Adams threw out there to Stanford. Stanford's his second leading receiver. He moved. He's really tough when he gets elusive and moves around the pocket, but what a throw on the run.
Kenai Benoit and Charles Nelson will get the carry. Sort of stumbles breaking a tackle. And the little guy, who's one of the toughest players on their team, a starting safety, plays both ways with his first touch on offense.
Yeah, he's really a super player, really smart. They limited his package on offense, but he's a guy they want in space as much as they can. He's also dynamic on special teams.
Oregon going quick tempo. They'll throw it out to Nelson here on second down. That one was defended well. Julius Lewis, one of the starting defensive backs, was there to make the initial hit.
Yeah, Julius is a freshman from Mansfield, Texas. There are 30 freshmen playing on this football team, more than any other team in the country except for Rice under David Bailey.
30 freshmen, true and redshirt, played this year for TCU. Oregon was not a great third down team. This is 3rd and 4. Adams in the pocket, taking a long time, taking a shot down the field. Touchdown! .37 yards to Darren Carrington. And Oregon scores first here at the Alamo Bowl. Well, the Ducks, who will do some unconventional things on point after tries, and they set up like maybe they might go for 2. TCU was prepared for it, so now they'll go back into a more normal kick formation with their place kicker Aiden Schneider. And his kick is up and good. The first big play of the game goes by way of the Ducks.
Well, you can't have 9 in the box and give this guy time enough to throw the ball deep. Good start for the Oregon Ducks. Packed house, great crowd, 2 really fun football teams, but there's no better place for hospitality in this country than San Antonio, Texas. They take tremendous pride in treating their guests right.
Well, what a start for the Ducks. After a 3-and-out first time they had the ball, their defense got a stop, and they went right down the field. The long pass play. Darren Carrington from Vernon Adams, 8 plays, 81 yards on the touchdown drive. So Oregon with the first score of this Valero Alamo Bowl. Just like in the punt return game, TCU is dangerous here on the kickoff return, but that is a booming kickoff to the back of the end zone for a touchback. Well, one more college football game for you tonight, 10:15 Eastern, right here on ESPN. Big 12, Pac-12 in the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl. West Virginia goes a long way from home. Arizona State stays at home. So it's the Sun Devils and the Mountaineers on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Dana Holgerson has been very good as the head coach at West Virginia in non-conference situations. And they will face pressure from Arizona State. Todd Graham, one thing you know about the Sun Devils, they blitz and blitz some more.
They blitz getting off the bus.
They blitz. There's some games where you watch, they blitz every play.
Very unorthodox, hard to block.
TCU gets the ball for the second time. Bram Kohlhausen will swing that pass out to the right flat. And they got speed there. Cutting it upfield, Kevontae Turpin gets about 4 yards on first down.
As a freshman from Neville, Louisiana, that can really fly. They want to get him in space as much as they can tonight. 200 meters.
They spotted him back. It's really 2nd and 7. They'll hand the ball off here. Trying to get to the edge. Turpin, nice cut. Kind of picking his way forward, and Turpin gets the TCU first down.
Now this guy's a 5'9", 152, but it's all fast.
Well, a couple inches more, and Turpin would not have been at TCU. He'd be at LSU. He is a very good player, and a chance that he's the next star on offense for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, they said he's not worried about anything. He just goes and plays and has fun. And again, kicking game, he's dynamic as well.
Green will empty the backfield on first down. Goes out very wide right. Kohlhausen. Pressured. Kohlhausen will get rid of it behind the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of a couple yards. Sean Dixon with the catch. Might have been better if he just dropped it.
Well, we've got to understand they had to change their game plan 2 days ago. When you lose a quarterback like Trevone Boykin to a guy that's an experienced player but doesn't run as well, you have to change who you are offensively. So they're trying to get an identity right now.
2nd and 12 for TCU. 4-man rush. Kohlhausen with a nice pocket and a nice delivery. A tackle short of the first down. Forward progress maybe to the 44-yard line. Sean Dixon once again.
Yeah, Sean was a running back from Lake Travis High School that was very highly recruited, and now he's become one of their better receivers. Shows you how versatile he is.
Quick snap, quick pressure, and the ball knocked away. No whistle, they say loose ball. And fumble recovery for Tyson Coleman, who knocked it down and then recovered it. Well, there was a moment where I didn't know whether it was a pass that was batted down, incomplete, but they say fumble.
Yeah, I think it's a fumble, Dave. He was trying to get it started, but Tyson Coleman was right in his face and actually hit his arm and hit the ball before he could take it forward.
The ruling on the field of a fumble is under further review.
So they are going to take a look upstairs. Mark Curls is our referee. It's an SEC crew here at the Alamo Bowl. Gerald Hodges, the replay official. And I'm with you. I think they got the call right on the field. Although that gray area, he would have been better off if he just kept the arm going forward and thrown it. It was almost like he tried to stop himself, and then the ball got knocked away.
Well, he did have 235 pounds of senior right in his face.
He did.
So his decision-making was probably a little strange for him with big Tyson in his face. Tyson's made plays already. Buckner told us, the senior that we sat down with, I said, who are the guys that are going to make plays? And he said, Tyson Coleman's going to be all over the place from Lake Oswego, Oregon.
And Allison documented as we got started, it wasn't just the quarterback issue, and no Josh Dotson as well. Offensive line missing 2 starters for TCU. They've had to do a lot of shuffling, and in the first quarter, that has impacted this game.
Yeah, TCU's come in with really a short stick.
Going to be a positive for the Ducks. It's just not going to be quite as positive.
After further review, the rule against the quarterback's arm was going forward. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It's 4th down on the 42-yard line. Reset the game clock to 7:40.
Well, and Bill is still with us. I think, you can see why they did that. I do think TCU got a break there.
Well, it's the thing. The rule says if the hand's going forward, but I still want to see the ball off the hand.
Punt on 4th down, and not a real good one, but it will take a TCU bounce. It's fielded by Addison very dangerously. He hangs on to the ball as the Ducks get it back, but a controversial play in the first quarter ruled an incompletion, not a fumble. Ducks have it, leading 7-0.
Pound them with Freeman. They're not used to that in the Big 12. And then we know this quarterback can escape, and what an arm he's got. But when you have to put 9 in the box, it puts you one-on-one in situations outside. They had 3 receivers to the top, and they locked up one of their best receivers on a safety for a deep ball for a touchdown.
Now, one thing about the overturned call allowing TCU to punt the ball away, the end result, a difference of 59 yards of field position. Nelson gets the carry right side. Look at the speed of Nelson to the 35 and the cutback across the 40, across the 45, and it's Taj Griffin, the true freshman running back, for 28 yards. They have so many weapons on offense for Oregon, and Griffin is a very dynamic player. He's going to get another carry. Not as much room this time. Hit hard right at midfield. Gains a yard.
Yeah, Griffin's had 9 plays of 25-plus yards, and he's a young freshman that's 5'10", 175. Both of these groups yesterday talked about athletes on the other team and trying to swarm and tackle in space, because you're going to miss some of these guys when you're one-on-one.
2nd down and 9. Freeman gets the ball left side running with that power and turns into TCU territory close to the 46.
And so our fans can understand, right now Oregon's averaging about 14 seconds between plays. They are moving fast.
Better than 2,000 yards from scrimmage this year, Royce Freeman. The year of the running back in college football. He was a part of it. 3rd and 5. Adams pressured. Adams sort of stumbled. Keeps the play alive and finds his tight end Bayless wide open to the 20. Inside to the 16-yard line. 38 yards as Adams kept the play alive.
Yeah, this is what Adams gives you. He starts to get outside. TCU does a tremendous job keeping him in the pocket. Not only does he get up inside, keeps his eyes downfield for the completion.
They fake it to Freeman and throw the ball out to the right side with a blocker out in front. To the 10, Dwayne Stanford tackled there.
They're going so fast. Derek Kendrick made the tackle that time, but even with the ball out of bounds, you could see Vernon Adams, let's go, let's go, let's go. Get to the line of scrimmage, trying to wear the TCU defense down.
Oregon already leads 7-0. 2nd down, and they will shift dramatically.
They even shift fast.
They do. Carrington, one of those players. And Carrington takes the low throw, turns it upfield, knocked out of bounds. He got the 1st down. Inside the 5, it'll be 1st and goal, Oregon.
Smart play. They shifted the unbalanced line into the boundary, get it in a fast player's hands again. Carrington's a 195-pounder. It's like a running play, but he goes forward for the 1st down.
Just 6 plays to go 75 yards. The Ducks offense early in this one is rolling. 1st and goal, Oregon. The play fake. The throw, incomplete. Braylon Addison. And Vernon Adams wondering what happened at the end of that play. Denzel Johnson got the hit on.
Once again, you pound, and it looks like you're going to run the inside zone play. And then you come back across, and really, really good play by Johnson for TCU.
Addison, though, I bet you he's thinking he should have caught that.
No doubt, and he's probably hearing that right now.
But 2nd and goal. Freeman gets the carry. Freeman, that cut and the power. Touchdown. Just about everything's working right now on offense for the Ducks.
And without Boykin, TCU did not need to get behind early. They needed to stay in the game early, so they really need to answer here and have a drive.
Long way to go in this one. We've seen crazy Alamo Bowls in the past with tons of offense, but the Ducks look like they're not going to be stopped tonight. Point after try, good snap, good hold, kick is good. So it's 5:12 still to go in the first quarter. It's 14-0 Oregon. A mix of power and speed for the Ducks on offense.
Off tackle power play. 3 guys sitting right there in the hole ready to tackle him. They take the wrong angle. He gets a little move outside, cuts it back up. When he plants the foot, runs over the last guy for the touchdown.
Well, Vernon Adams excited about the way this one is going.
Well, I liked him yesterday. He's a fun young man. You can see how he excites the team. And here's Coach Patterson knowing that they're going to have to stand up and play better on defense. The other problem they've got right now, until TCU starts moving the ball on offense, their defense is going to be out on the field way too long with that ball being snapped every 14 seconds.
Now, one thing about TCU, all the injuries they had on the defensive side of the ball early in the year, they are healthier now. And I think they were feeling confident that they could at least be disruptive against this Oregon offense tonight. So far, not so much. I'll kick it off deep. And again, a booming kickoff for a touchback. Well, we've taken 2 things you love and made it one thing. Watch ESPN now inside the ESPN app. So you can watch everything that we have on Watch ESPN right inside your ESPN app, including this game, the Ducks and the Horned Frogs, the Valero Alamo Bowl. Such a highly anticipated game. I think lots of folks, we included, thought this could well be the best of the non-New Year's 6 and challenge, at least in entertainment purposes, any bowl game all bowl season long. It will be different, though, without Trevone Boykin. And we'll see if Kohlhausen and TCU can get it going on offense. So far, Aaron Green tackled after a gain of 3 or so on first down. So far, the Oregon defense has looked good.
They have looked good, and it's a defense that struggled. They felt like they were doing too much early in the year. They cut it down and really simplified. And you're seeing tonight they've only had 1 blitz. Most of what they're doing is playing zone and trying to keep TCU in front of them.
Very lopsided in terms of the total yards.
Now they're showing blitz. TCU's changing the play. Let's see if Oregon backs out of their blitz.
Green shifted. Kohlhausen. Pressure picked up. He's got plenty of time. And a very tight window. There's Turpin out into the open. What a move. Inside the 50 down to Oregon territory to about the 42-yard line. 30 yards on the pass play.
Cavante Turpin is really fun to watch. Very good protection. Graham steps up well, but watch this young guy. Coach Roll used to say he's like a puff of smoke.
Well, we'd like to watch him, but it's hard with all the speed. Now there's a penalty flag on this carry. So a flag on the play. If the play stands, it's a first down. I don't think it's going to, though.
Well, you can see TCU getting more confidence in their offense, though, and they're going a little bit faster themselves.
Illegal block below the waist, number 25 offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Replay first down.
And I tell you one thing, Mac, you mentioned the confidence for TCU on offense. Bram Kohlhausen has made some impressive throws. He had a big drop the first time TCU had the ball. That would have been a first down, would have kept TCU's drive going.
Yeah, and Cavante Turpin, what happens with a guy like Cavante that's a freshman, he hasn't been out there and blocked so much, so they will block below the waist some. And he's learning. He's a freshman. He was a star in high school, and he usually didn't do a whole lot of downfield blocking.
Yeah, you like the effort. You want those guys on the outside to be involved in the play, but that negated a big gain They had a lot of penalties, a lot of penalty yardage this year. TCU, it was a part of the story of their season.
Well, and when you have the ball as much as they do offensively, most of the penalties you get are on offense. So that can be misleading.
1st and 26. That was a big one. Back in their own territory. Another 4-man rush picked up. The throw short is caught to that corner. Jumping over a would-be tackler Sean Nixon out of bounds at the TCU 48.
Okay, you can see what they're doing. They're spreading them out. They're trying to hit some creases in the running game. A lot of simple throws for Graham right now. And you'll see him get a double move in a minute and get something deep. He looks much more comfortable in this series.
Still 2nd and long. They will hand it off on 2nd and long into Oregon territory. That's Kyle Hicks, who's gotten healthy as the season has advanced. He really used that bowl season to get healthier. He's a talented back.
Yeah, Kyle's a really good football player. Plants the foot, turns up inside, keeps shoulders square, and then makes one of the better runs for the night.
So 2 different 6-yard plays have made it 3rd. It's still 3rd and long. But call it 3rd and a long. 13 yards to go for TCU.
If you get enough here, you might go for it on 4th and a 3 or 4. Try to make this manageable.
Kohlhausen pressured, steps up. Kohlhausen taking a deep throw and incomplete. Man, now there is a penalty flag down on the play. Kohlhausen aired that one out. Flag is back down.
Holding, number 65 offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So even if they'd completed that one, it was coming back to hold against Brady Foltz.
When you change as many offensive linemen and you've got the really quick defensive linemen of Oregon, they showed blitz. They only brought 3. But you can see right here, he's got him hooked up with his left arm. He will not let him go. Turn him loose. Turn him loose, Brady. Let him go. Don't hold him.
4th and 14. TCU will punt. And an end-over-end kick. Fair catch signal. Addison makes it at around the 15-yard line of the Ducks. 2:21 to go in the 1st quarter of this Valero Alamo Bowl. Our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Whether you drive 100 yards or 100 miles, choose Goodyear tires for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven. It's the kind of weather we've had all week in San Antonio. It has been wet. But we got the roof up above inside the Alamodome. Part of the reason, I think, why in the history of this game we see so much offense. Perfect, ideal conditions for offense inside.
And it is loud. It is such a fun place to play. It's good turf. 72 degrees, 1 mile an hour wind.
Kohlhausen, who I thought made some good plays on that last drive. TCU's defense, though, is going to have to play better. Already down 14-0.
Need to stop here for field position.
Adams and company back on the field. Play fake. Adams. The ball's knocked down, incomplete. Terrell Lathan got his hands up. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, Terrell's a guy that's been a really good football player for him from West Monroe, Louisiana. 13.5 career sacks. So he's got the big arm, tall arm. He can knock the ball down.
2nd and 10 for Oregon. 5 receivers in this formation. Adams in the pocket. He'll throw deep right side. Addison out there, incomplete. Good coverage. There was a little contact. Denzel Johnson, the safety, was there. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, it's very good coverage by Denzel. And that's what they're going to have to do tonight. Be careful with the push. Got to watch it. Don't want to have that one on replay.
Now there's an Oregon player down on this turf, and that's their center. Matt Hegarty, who has been a lot less heralded as a grad transfer than the quarterback, Vernon Adams, but he has been a very important part of the Oregon offense. Graduated from Notre Dame, transferred to Oregon. He's basically been the starter all year.
Yeah, Mark Helfrich said he had been such a great surprise. He's come in very much like Vernon. He's been a leader on the football team and really helped their team. And centers are so important. We can't even talk about how much it hurts TCU not to have their center tonight. And all of a sudden, with Matt possibly coming out of the ball game, it could really disrupt the offensive line for Oregon.
Well, you see the sophomore Doug Brenner, who is the backup center, taking some practice snaps with Adams. So he's going to come in this game. We'll see if that impacts Oregon. Hegarty is still lying flat on his back on this turf.
Well, Doug's got good genes. His sister was a volleyball All-American, Liz, at Oregon. So family's got some history.
We'll see if we can see Hegarty, the center. Yeah, it wasn't a ton of contact, but you could tell right away he was hurting. Grabbed that right knee.
There's a twist up front, and as you can see, Davion Pearson comes in there, and it looked like he just planted in the turf.
Well, he is putting some weight on that leg as he walks off slowly.
He's a 5-year senior now. He's going to want to come back and play if any way possible.
Meanwhile, longest third down for Oregon in this first quarter. And for TCU, feels like a very big play.
TCU really needs to get a stop here, Dave, for field position as much as anything else, and to rest their defense.
Sprinting right, Adams, pressured, gets away. Adams heaves it downfield, and it is caught. What a catch by Darren Carrington. Having a tremendous first quarter. That one 44 yards.
You've got to have backside contain, and Vernon Adams once again turns around, and you've got 6'2" on 6 foot, and he just out-jumped him to make the play.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage, a little shoulder fake, and another deep throw. This one is caught again. What a play by Addison. Man, the Oregon receivers have shown up. 39 yards down the left sideline. Another 50-50 type ball, and Addison just went up and got it.
It's covered as good as you could cover it. Nick Orr's got to make the play. Got to bat it down.
Now the officials are talking. There's a hat off. And they are going to now throw a flag on the field. So we're going to get the call here from our head referee, Mark Curls.
An illegal touching. Number 2 offense went out of bounds on his own. Came back in and first caught the pass. Penalty is loss of bounds at the previous spot. Second down.
Wow, so that's huge. Bill, obviously, I guess the discussion was he forced out of bounds or not?
That's what it all revolves around. As the defender made contact, that contact could force a player out of bounds. But the officials ruled no contact. He stepped out on his own, came back in, was first to touch the pass. It ends up going previous spot. There's no penalty yardage, but a loss of down.
Mark Helfrich is arguing otherwise, but I didn't see a lot of contact to force him out of bounds. Well, they'll get the ball in the hands of number 22 again. And so far in this game, that has been a good thing for the Ducks. Darren Carrington for 13 more yards.
He's a go-to guy in this ball game. San Diego, California, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore, and he is playing well.
Final minute and a half of the first quarter. Royce Freeman with the carry. Freeman down to the 20-yard line. Let's go down to Allison.
The start he's having must mean so much for Darren Carrington. He is playing with a really heavy heart, wearing number 22 to honor his best friend, somebody that was like a brother to him. New Mexico safety Mark Halberd was killed just before Christmas in a car accident on his way home for the holidays. You can also see on his warm-up shirt, Carrington has #ForeverYoung22 for his friend.
And he is playing like an inspired kid tonight. Adams on the move, throws a dart, caught at the 5 by Stanford. Oregon's doing whatever it wants on offense, and they're doing it at a very high speed. Now Stanford is down and hurting after that catch and the tackle, holding his left foot. The play was a gain of 16 yards.
So impressed by Vernon Adams. He's the first one there to check on Stanford and make sure he's okay. I want to make sure Dwayne was up and ready to go. But this guy is making plays all over the field. They can't tackle him. TCU's got good contain in many cases, but he's just he's making plays.
You could see the twist of that foot as he got wrestled to the turf. Even after that long pass play negated by the penalty of going out of bounds, illegal touching coming back in. It took Oregon, what, 2-3 plays to get right back to where they were.
Yeah, these guys, they don't worry about much. They go so fast. And we can see their game plan: pound, spread the field with the short bubble screens and quick ones.
And you and I asked, okay, Vernon Adams was definitely a determining factor down the stretch. Why did Oregon play better? And we asked Mark Helfrich, what was the other aspect of your team playing so well at the end of the year? And the first thing he mentioned was our wide receivers. He said our wide receiver play has gotten so much better, and Stanford's a part of that. Addison, Darren Carrington, a big part of that. Devin Allen has missed most of the year. He is an extremely talented, dynamic playmaker. He's not playing tonight in the Alamo Bowl, but they are deep on the outside. First and goal, Oregon. Already ahead 14-0. Tight end in motion. Royce Freeman, touchdown. His second of the first quarter. TCU fans are wondering what has happened. A program built on defense, and that got one of the best defensive coaches in the country. And there's no defense for the Ducks right now. Kick is up, and it is good.
A tight end and wing into the boundary. It's the outside zone play to the right. And you can see there was a great block by Cameron Hunt. 6'4", 290 pounds on the corner there. And then Freeman just turns it up and runs over it, finishes the tackle, and runs through Ty Summers for the touchdown.
So the drives for Oregon, 81 yards, 79 yards. That one 84 yards, ending up in the second touchdown for number 21. And you know, Mac, part of the story coming into this game, the play calling with their new offensive coordinator just named officially yesterday. And those touchdown drives really impressive after a 3-and-out. So Matt Lubick, who got the job full time, has been a part of this staff, a very valued young coach, handed the keys to the offense. So far, so good for the Ducks.
Yeah, I asked him, have you ever called plays before? He said in a spring game. Well, so far, his first quarter has been really impressive.
Now a line drive kick. It'll bounce into the end zone for another touchback. TCU's offense comes on the field. Well, Matt Lubick, who comes from great coaching bloodlines, young guy. There's Matt. First game in his career where he is calling plays. Now that's pretty remarkable at a program like Oregon with the stature of this Ducks offense. That position, it's been a springboard for so many coaches.
But they've always gone inside. That's who they are. His dad, Sonny, was one of the great coaches in the country, defensive coordinator across the country, great head coach at Colorado State, and he's coached on both sides of the ball, so that really prepared him for tonight's debut calling the plays.
Now, one thing, it does help to have as many playmakers as the Ducks have.
Yes.
Turpin gets the pitch back. Turpin will be swarmed. And I tell you what, the offense has been unstoppable, but the Oregon defense is playing well.
They are playing really well, and TCU cannot get away from their game plan. They're going to have to just hang in there and keep working to try to get first downs and keep their defense off the field.
2nd and 12. Final play. No, they won't get it off of this quarter number 1. All Oregon so far here from San Antonio, with a big TCU crowd getting loud before the game, hoping to be an inspired Horned Frogs team. Instead, Vernon Adams and the Ducks, they have been unstoppable, and they lead TCU 21-0. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams from San Antonio, the Valero Alamo Bowl, and it has been all Ducks from the Pac-12, 21-0 over TCU, playing without their star quarterback, but still with a lot of talent. And the Horned Frogs trying desperately to feel like they can get back in this game on 2nd down and long. Kohlhausen dumps one short left, incomplete. And I think, Mac, part of the story of this game, the Oregon offense has looked unstoppable. Look at the numbers for the Oregon defense on the year. They were not a good statistic defense. They weren't good in any measure through the regular season. They played a tough schedule, but you wouldn't know it watching this game tonight.
Well, it's an impressive performance in the first quarter because after Boykin goes out, they could also come out flat and think it was going to be easy. They've done just the opposite. They're playing at a high level.
TCU has not converted to third down yet. This one 3rd and 12. In the shotgun, Kohlhausen steps up. Kohlhausen goes down. And there's big number 44, DeForest Buckner, who was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. And really, it wasn't close. He was the dominant defensive player in that conference this season. His first sack of the night.
And he is listed as a very high draft choice. I think about the 4th pick by Mel Kiper, and you can see why. Very impressive young man. He was unusual that he didn't go out last year when everybody was talking about it. He stayed for his senior year and has been a great leader on this team.
They'll try to angle the punt, and that one will go out of bounds. A low line drive kick to give Oregon some pretty good field position at their own 38-yard line. DeForest Buckner, who came to Oregon from Hawaii. And his mom and dad are a long way from home here in San Antonio, watching their kids' last college game.
Yeah, we played against him here as a sophomore, and he was very, very impressive as a sophomore. What he's done is he's gotten a better body. He's bigger, he's stronger, and he's really doing a good job taking on the run as well as being a pass rusher at 290 pounds. And the coaches said he's become the best leader on defense. They all listen to him. Somebody's not doing something, Mark doesn't have to say anything. He goes over to, he calls him Defo. Defo, get that fixed.
From Punahou High School, the alma mater of, among many great athletes, also the President of the United States. Vernon Adams throws on the move, another perfect pass. And Braylon Addison with a catch for an Oregon first down. When they get those chunk plays back, they want to go fast.
You talk about being balanced. That's 14 passes and 13 runs in 27 plays early in this ball game. Very balanced.
Plays of 10 or more yards in this game so far. 8 of them already for the Ducks. And they're going to get another one here. A big play to the 20, to the 10, inside the 10. That's their 4th string running back. Tony Brooks James. You think they got a lot of skill on this offense?
Well, he stopped. He has to cut back. He cuts back against the grain and then outruns everybody. These guys are loaded with skill guys.
That's their 4th string guy. And he'll stay in. Touchdown. My goodness.
They're hitting on all cylinders right now. I've seen this story. I know how good they can be. Gary Patterson's one of the most competitive people I've ever met or been around in my life. I promise you TCU is going to keep playing.
They got to figure something out, though, on the defensive side of the ball, because right now that drive took all of 43 seconds.
Yeah, this man, yeah, he's got tremendous pride. But part of the problem is their offense. They're leaving their defense out there too long. The offense has to pick it up, and they've got to show their defensive players that we got a chance in this thing, guys.
That one is up and good. Timeout here in San Antonio. The Ducks are flying high here in Texas, Oregon, with a 28-0 lead. So is the SEC all bowl season long. Big 10 and Big 12 struggling, and that's sort of holding to form here tonight. And how about the performance in the Rose Bowl by Christian McCaffrey at Stanford, reminiscent of the way Oregon is playing so far in this one against TCU.
Yeah, Stanford improved as much as anybody in the country from that opener at Northwestern to the Rose Bowl yesterday. Very impressive by David Shaw.
It'd be impossible to improve more than they did. They were so bad in week 1 and finished with a bang. Let's check in the studio with Adnan Vert.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. Sports are right now presented by Great Clips as Penn State taking on Georgia Bulldogs in the TaxSlayer Bowl. That'll be Malcolm Mitchell with a touchdown reception there. Penn State had a chance, but couldn't deliver here in the Hail Mary. Also notable, Christian Hackenberg's final game for Penn State. Did not have a strong performance. 1 interception, no touchdowns, but now he's off to the NFL. Where's he going to go? That's the next question, Flem. Back to you.
Well, that is a good question. Adnan, thanks very much. Another question pertaining to this game. TCU, can they possibly figure out a way to get back in this thing? Not with the way that Oregon is just swarming all over the field here tonight.
What a good play by Rodney Hardrick. Here's a guy that's another senior from Colton, California, 3rd in the team on tackles. He wants to coach. He played so hard. running across that formation to make that play on a fast back.
We got 13 minutes to go until halftime. Oregon's over 300 yards of total offense. You're looking at a record-setting type performance. Penalty flag behind the play. If the play stands, that's a first down. Sean Nixon with the catch and run, but I think it's another
Holding,
hold.
number 74 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
That's Halapoulivaati Vaitai, the senior who he's the rock. He's the left tackle, the most experienced guy, and he gets flagged.
Well, and he's got his hands full tonight because he's got Big Defoe at 290 pounds coming inside there, and two of them tried to hold him, and he still got back there. He is that good a football player.
What a move. I mean, this is a guy who's 6'7", 290, and that quick, explosive first step off the line. You're right.
He is so quick.
Hands full for TCU. So that negates a nice gain. It's 2nd and 17. Kohlhausen, play fake. Over the middle, nice pass and a tough catch with contact afterwards. That's Tony James, another one of the true freshmen. First down, TCU.
Really good protection. Beat man-to-man coverage. They had the blitz. This is a good play. They've got to have plays like that down the field to get going.
19 yards. Now they hand it off and get a positive gain out to the 40-yard line. About 4 yards on first down for Aaron Green.
When everything's gone against you, Dave, you got to get some momentum. You got to get something going. You got to pick your head up. Who's going to make the play? Who's going to get this team with some confidence moving forward? Bram's got to do it, but he's going to have some help.
Well, last year here in San Antonio in the Alamo Bowl, UCLA was just romping a Pac-12 team over a Big 12 team, Kansas State, and it was close by the end. There's some speed out into the open. Turpin still going into Ducks territory, and he never went down. Finally whistled down at about the 36-yard line. That's 24 yards for the dynamic freshman.
I love this young guy. It's a screen. You've got a really good block on the outside by Jerrison Stewart, but this guy can absolutely fly. It's fun to watch.
Now they hand it off to him as a running back. He took a big hit there.
He had an 86-yard touchdown against OU. He had 4 touchdowns against Texas, 8 touchdowns as a freshman. This guy is one of the more fun guys to watch in college football. And they're going to try to stay away from that big guy, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Turpin, for the moment, will come off the field. I mean, he took a hit. He is not, he's listed 5'9", 152. I don't think he's 5'9", that's for sure. He may be 150 pounds. But he is fast. The cutback to the 30, and now the ball is out. They have blown it dead, though. TCU ended up coming away with it, but it doesn't matter. That ball is down. It'll be third down after the carry from Green.
Yeah, good drive by TCU. Give them some credit. They're continuing to fight. Their coaches are being positive. You got to have good body language. You got to pick it up. Come on, Bram, get them going. Try to get them in the end zone here and get some positives for TCU in this ball game. It'll help your defense if you move it on offense.
You made the point earlier with the score, especially could well be 4-down territory. 3rd and 4 in the pocket with time. Now running out of time, and a heave out of bounds, incomplete. 4th down, and we'll test that theory. Is TCU going to go for it? I would expect they would.
Well, that was a good sack by Tarodney Prevost from Houston, Texas. 6'3", about 220, and he's a really good pass rusher. And Bram tried to get outside, but he had him contained and then hit him and put him in a position where it was impossible to complete the ball.
So now it's 4th and 4. It's hard to say with 10 minutes to go until halftime. There's a must play, but for TCU, it feels like it. Kohlhausen down the left sideline and incomplete. Well, they threw the ball deep, intended for Listenby. The TCU defense will have to come back out on the field. And we'll be back after this from the Alamo Bowl, 28-0 Oregon. Has the coolest end zones of this bowl season. TCU and Oregon's logos, uniform scheme represented. Took 4 days and a lot of man hours to get that look, and they did a great job.
They worked really hard here to make this bowl really special for the players and the fans, and it's a fun experience.
Right now, a lot more special for Oregon than it has been for TCU.
And a lot more fun.
Handoff up the middle. Royce Freeman stuffed that time. A rare positive play by Mike Tua'ua and the TCU defense.
29 plays. That's the 30th play for Oregon. 15 of those plays have the ball's been snapped before 12 seconds elapsed. So they said they were going to call them fast. They're going to play fast. They are playing fast.
Second down and 10. Vernon Adams fakes it to Freeman. Scrambling. Adams keeps the play alive again. Now pressured, and this time he goes down. Now the ball did pop out there, and there's a fight for it. And I don't know who had it. The Oregon offensive lineman ripping it away from Travin Howard. Now a penalty flag is thrown.
Travin was our impact player, the leading tackler on the team. He's going to have to make plays inside to slow this Oregon offense down. What a machine.
Gary Patterson's not happy. It was almost like the officials there weren't totally aware that the ball may be loose on the turf. Then very much after the play was over, that flag was thrown.
Ruling on the field as the runner was down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 94 defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. First down.
Well, let's see if we can spot. Now the ruling was that the runner was down. I think he was down. The defender had the hand on the ball there, Howard, but that knee goes down. Bill, what do you think?
In this shot we've got right now, his his butt hit the ground. He's got control of the football. He's down. It's a good call by the referee.
That's a killer penalty because you've got a chance to stop Oregon, put them in long yardage, and now they're back to 1st and 10.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with Bill. Even if the play's down, though, that's a sack. It's 3rd and very long. Now it's 1st down Oregon. And Nelson out into the open field. What a move from Charles Nelson out near midfield. A gain of 12.
Hard to tackle these guys in space. You can see it with both teams. They're so athletic. But this young guy that plays corner, he plays safety. He's on special teams. Can't tackle him one-on-one.
First down Ducks. Freeman straight ahead into TCU territory. So with that penalty, Oregon's on the move again. Ty Summers, the talented freshman linebacker, had his shoe pop off. So he's going to run off the field.
Better get somebody out there fast. They're not waiting.
No, barely in position as the Ducks snap the ball. Adams, middle, incomplete into double coverage. Intended for Braylon Addison.
They put so much pressure on you, Dave, because you got to get enough guys around the line of scrimmage to stop their running game, stop their short screen game, and then they're going to try to get you one-on-one deep. And with their speed, like Braylon Addison, they can win those one-on-ones very easily.
Still another bowl game tonight out in the desert. Arizona State near home against West Virginia. Oregon 3 of 4. They haven't had many third downs in this first half. 3rd and 6 here. Adams. Just a 4-man rush. Throws kind of off his back foot, incomplete. Trying to get it to Carrington again. And we'll see. It's 4th and 6. It looks, well, initially they were sending the punt team out there, and they may have changed their mind.
This is an area of the field where you can also pooch. You're probably not going to go for the 4th and 6, 4th and 7. In fact, they had a lot of discussion. New offensive coordinator. And then they said, guys, we're up 28-0. Come on. They're not moving the ball very much. Let's punt it. Let's back them up. And we try to hold them and get a short field.
They do not like to punt in Eugene. But I'm with you. I think with the way this game is going, don't give TCU any opening to feel like they can get back in this thing. And they are going to fake it. A throw from the punter is caught. And then knocked away, incomplete. Man, it was there. Ian Wheeler, the punter, wound up, and he threw it a long, long way. Nelson was the intended target. He had his hands on the ball. I thought he got it, but it was knocked away at the last minute.
Good fake. You've got Nelson wide open. He catches it. What a play by TCU to knock it loose.
Big time from Denzel Johnson
and Julius Lewis. Those two guys made the play, and now you've given TCU some hope.
So much for not taking a risk. Maybe TCU can build on that. Hey, it's hard to blame Oregon for taking a shot. The play was executed nicely. The punter showed off a pretty good arm.
Yeah, it was open. I faked one from about 15 away against Oregon State, and it stunk. And we threw it, and they intercepted it. So I do understand. I was about the same part of the field as the head coach. We just needed something to happen. They're trying to put it away. He knows TCU's not going to quit. He knows they're going to keep playing. And the last couple of series, even though TCU keeps shooting themselves in the foot, they are playing hard. They're playing better on defense. They had a little drive on offense. I told you now, Gary Patterson's going to compete. And these kids are not going to quit. So don't turn this game off, folks. We've still got a chance here to have a great game at the end.
I tell you what, too, if you watch any college football today and watch Georgia struggle trying to find a quarterback, watch Kansas State use a wide receiver as a quarterback for most of their game, Ian Wheeler, he might think about trying to find a spot at the quarterback spot after that throw.
He looked pretty good.
That was pretty good. But in the end, for naught, TCU has the ball back and good field position. Handing it off to Green with that nice cut back across the middle. Close to a first down. I think he got one.
That's the danger of taking a chance and it not working out, because now you've given TCU good field position and they have a chance to get some momentum.
8 minutes to go, second quarter. 4-touchdown lead for the Ducks. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams from San Antonio.
And if Nelson had held on to it, we'd have talked about what guts. That's why it's hard to coach.
It looked like they had converted. Bram Kohlhausen starting in place of Trevone Boykin. Another handoff, again straight ahead. This is Kyle Hicks. A pretty powerful run. Now a flag after the play. We've had several of those. The run went for close to 8 yards. Last one of these after play penalties went against TCU.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 25 offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. The down counts. It's second down. That was number.
Well, I mean, TCU, not only are they getting blown out in terms of just the way the game's being played on the field, they're making a lot of mistakes like that.
Well, they do, and you're a team that's 22-3 over the last 2 years. You're seeing the score. You see how great Oregon's playing. You're killing yourself, and you get frustrated. And somebody hits you, and you hit them back, or you push them, or you just got to keep playing. And you heard him. He said, "Coach, he pushed me first. Doesn't matter. Just play."
Can't do that. It was 2nd and 2, well into Oregon territory. Now it's 2nd and 17. Back around midfield. Kohlhausen scrambles and throws. It is caught. Pretty acrobatic catch there after a little bobble from Jalen Austin, true freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas, but only 4 yards. It's 3rd and long.
See, Graham's moving around in the pocket better. He kept his shoulders square. A very good throw downfield. It's just important that TCU has something happen good for them here. Got to make a positive play.
When they've given him some time, he's made some pretty good throws. 3rd and 13. Oregon showing pressure, and they bring pressure. Kohlhausen flings it away, incomplete. Then he gets tossed down at the end of the play.
Beyond the line of scrimmage, 4th down.
So he got outside and threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. No intentional grounding.
Yeah,
there was also no flag at the end of the play.
All-out blitz. They're really coming after them, and that's not their M.O. That's not who they are. And here, Reggie Daniels, Jr., big guy, 6'1", about 2'5", gets through on the blitz.
Yeah, I don't think there was a penalty there. I think that was a good no call. And now a punt. That personal foul, unsportsmanlike penalty was huge for TCU. Oregon gets it back, 6:27 to go until halftime, leading 28-0.
He wants his quarterback to get the play call and get it out to the team. He's spending too much time looking over when they're lined up and ready to go. He said TCU cannot line up against our tempo, guys.
So that's being a perfectionist. Handoff on first down. A nice hit against Benoit out in the open field. Better than 300 yards of offense, 4 touchdowns with still 6 minutes to go until halftime. Not good enough.
Yeah, you got to like Mark Helfrich. Very bright young coach. I love the fact that when his team was in trouble at 3-3, he pulls them out and goes 6-0.
Low snap. Adams throws that slant, dangerous pass. Good catch from Carrington, but a good tackle for TCU.
This is really an important 5 minutes and 50 seconds that are left, because if TCU can hold them here, they get the best field position they've had all night. And if they can get something before the half, that gives them some confidence going in.
3rd and 7. Adams. That one is juggled and incomplete. Intended for the running back, Taj Griffin.
Probably the best defensive series we've seen so far out of TCU.
And I say Griffin, Nelson was there too, number 5 and number 6. And it was Nelson.
Throw. It's a great throw.
And the ball was right on his hands.
It's very well covered by Howard. Again, we talked about their linebackers being safeties. They were depleted at linebacker. But we'll see if Oregon's going to punt to this young guy. They didn't punt to Turpin on the first play of the first punt of the game.
And it did give TCU good field position then, so we'll see if the result is the same. Good pressure, and the punt is blocked. Oregon, Buckner grabs it and runs forward. And Oregon thinks they got a first down out of it. Buckner grabbed it out of the air. Gary Patterson.
The kick was blocked, recovered by the kicking team behind the line of scrimmage. That's a legal advance beyond the line again. It's a first down.
Now that is truly when everything's going against you. Garrett Kaufman got the punt block, and it turns into a first down. I can't remember the last time I saw that.
No, and give heads up to Buckner. DeForest Buckner, really smart. He knew the rule. He caught the ball and looked like a fullback turning up. You asked him if he ever wanted to play offense, and he said, I'd love to carry the ball. Well, he just did, but you're right. Nothing. No breaks right now for TCU.
I mean, seriously, they blocked the punt near the goal line, and it works in favor of the Ducks. Now it is Griffin with the carry out near first down yardage. So the Ducks will go quick tempo here. That is just so unusual. Looked like a huge play for TCU. It was a tremendous play by Buckner. Now Adams keeps it and takes a huge hit. My goodness. And we'll hope that Vernon Adams is okay. I don't think he is. Now that would definitely change this game. Derek Kindred got the hit on Adams. He is down. So Jeff Lockey's going to get loose. We'll take a timeout ourselves. 4:52 to go until halftime. 28-0 Oregon.
You may know us for our quality fuels.
In this game, Jeff Lockey, the junior from Alamo, California, is in. Vernon Adams has headed back to the locker room after a hit that has knocked him out of the game. Oregon, everything else has gone right for them, including a very unusual punt block advance for a first down just a few plays ago. It's 2nd and 6 for the Ducks. Handoff straight ahead running. And Tony Brooks James tackles short of the first down around the 40. Another look at this hit. And we watched it a couple times. Kindred with the hit on Adams. And you can see how violent that was. 3rd down, low snap. Lockey spikes the ball into the turf. Now penalty flag thrown. They'll call it an incomplete pass. In essence, I think that'll just be intentional grounding and count like a sack would. Ty Summers, the local kid from Reagan High School here in San Antonio, with that immediate pressure on Jeff Lockey. It's 4th down.
Intentional grounding, number 17 offense. Quarterback was in the pocket and there was no receiver in the area. Penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
Well, Jeff Lockey, who did make 3 starts this year, they won 2 of those games. This is the intentional grounding, and it was clear.
Well, and it was a low snap, and now TCU is going to start putting pressure on him like Oregon did Bram early in the ball game, because Bram was not used to all of the movement, the different looks. So I think we'll see TCU really come after him more here now that Vernon's out of the game.
Turpin toward the sideline, fair catch signal. And And he will make the catch at around the 27-yard line of the Horned Frogs. 4:13 to go until halftime. 28-0 Oregon, but a big development here as Adams is out. Lockey is in. That hit that we talked about a moment ago. Bill Lamonier is here with us as our rules expert. Bill, did you have a chance to look at this play? Was there a missed targeting call? What do you think?
I think it's suspect, but the thing is, he came in, dropped his head down, the crown of the helmet was coming in. I think he got him more with the shoulder into the head than he did with the crown of the helmet. There was some side helmet contact, but I think this is a shoulder that took him solid.
And I think that last look is our best look that proves you right. I think you're right about that. The initial look, you wondered, well, should there have been a penalty flag thrown? A juggle and an incompletion. The receiver, Nixon, was open, but it's incomplete, second down.
Well, TCU's just been out of sync. Good protection, good throw. Got to catch the ball. Sean Nixon's caught a couple of balls, and he's done a really good job. The guy that made the hit is one of the better defensive players that they've got on the TCU defense, and a senior leader.
Now, if Adams cannot come back in the game, that definitely changes things for the Oregon offense, but the TCU offense has to get it going. They have been shut out so far.
Still got plenty of time to get a drive, but this defense has been playing really well so far for Oregon.
Especially up front, dominating. Handoff, and nowhere to go. Hicks cuts it upfield, just swarmed. He goes down, tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he could not. He lost a couple yards. Alex Balducci led the way, and now Hicks is down.
And Don Pelham, the defensive coordinator, told just yesterday that he thought the biggest thing would be chasing that ball.
They have done it on every down, but particularly on third down. They were not a good third down defense so far tonight. TCU 0 for 6 on third down as an offense. On 3rd and 12, Kohlhausen, deep middle, right into coverage, intercepted. Charles Nelson went up and got it, his second interception of the year.
And it really doesn't hurt you that much. It's 3rd down and 13. You're going to have to punt anyway, and that probably came out better than trying to punt to Nelson. You'd rather have him intercept it and fall with it. 3-man rush. He had time. Felt like there wasn't any place to go. Throws it deep. Lessenby tries to get there and knock it down. Just can't quite get there. For all you young defensive backs, Charles Nelson jumps up and catches the ball as high as he can get it and does not allow Lessenby to knock it out of his hands. Still got to get a stop, TCU defense, and try to get you a stop and get something going before the half.
We'll see if Oregon keeps the ball on the ground. They do hand it off to Taj Griffin. After a gain of 1 tackle. Clock moving. TCU has all 3 timeouts. So does Oregon. After we're done, out to the desert, Arizona State, West Virginia. In that Cactus Bowl.
And we might see Oregon slow down a little bit with the new quarterback in. May not go quite as fast.
Another low snap. Freeman nowhere to go, and he goes down. Now remember, it's not just the quarterback who's now out. The center as well, Matt Hegarty. Well, Doug Brenner has been in the game, and we've seen several of those. You see him sort of shaking his head. We've got a timeout on the field. TCU uses one of those timeouts. A little more on that. Let's go down to Allison Williams.
Well, you saw the injury to Hegarty. He has not returned. He has ice on that that right knee, and the way the teammates were coming up to him, you could tell he's not coming back in the game. When Vernon Adams Jr. walked off the field, guys, he had kind of a distant look in his eyes, blinking really quickly, rolling his neck a bit, but he did give a quick wave and thumbs up to the crowd as he went into the locker room for further evaluation. I'll certainly ask Mark Helfrich about it at the half, but Oregon does not release injury information.
Well, it is his final game with the Ducks. It was a short, often spectacular Oregon career for Vernon Adams, so I think all of us would hope that that wouldn't be the final play of his college career, using that graduate transfer rule to come from Eastern Washington to Oregon.
But now you got a new center and Doug Brennan. You got a new quarterback. Dynamics have changed right now in this ball game. TCU needs a stop on this 3rd down.
They stop the clock. A delayed handoff with a big hole. Freeman will get the first down and more to midfield and still going. to the 45-yard line, and you almost knew that was coming, but TCU still couldn't stop it.
Yeah, good job by Lockie showing pass. Guys ran up the field. They felt like they had to cover those guys for all the short passes for him. Ran the draw for a big play to Freeman.
Big play, 24 yards. They'll give it to him again. Freeman churning. That is tough power running. Down to about the 41. Now, Royce Freeman, in a year where Christian McCaffrey was so spectacular in the Pac-12, where you had Fournette and Henry, where you had Dalvin Cook, so many great running backs across the country. Statistically, Royce Freeman matches up. He kind of got overlooked in all that talent, all that production. There's a completion from Lockie out to Addison. First down, Oregon. Clock stops as he stumbles out of bounds. Leading rushers in all of college football. Boy, this is good company for Royce Freeman.
Well, it is. When you start talking about Elliott and Cook, and now he's probably surpassed Fournette, who had a tremendous year as well.
Those numbers coming into bowl season. Another catch for Carrington, who's been a big play receiver for the Ducks. Clock continues to roll. Not a first down inside the 30, though. Carrington, 6 catches, 104 yards, plus a touchdown in this first half. Wearing that number 22 in memory of his friend, Markel Byrd, his best friend, who died very tragically in a car accident just a couple weeks ago. That one incomplete, stops the clock, 1:18 to go. It's third down.
Well, you can take your field goal here, so you're going to be smart on third down, and you really would like to make it 31-0 at halftime, even with your backup quarterback, to send a message to TCU. We're still playing, we're still moving. So believe it or not, this is a huge down.
Now, the score may look familiar to TCU fans in a very different way. Last year in the Peach Bowl, they dominated Ole Miss. They led 28-0 at halftime of that New Year's Six bowl game. This year down 28-0 here in the Alamo Bowl. That throw is caught. Now the tackle in the open field by Corey O'Mealy, short of a first down. Clock continues to move, and now it will stop as Oregon takes a timeout. It's 4th and 2 from about the 25. We'll see what Mark Helfrich has in mind. Final weekend of the NFL regular season coming up, so kick off your morning with us on ESPN. First at 10 a.m. Eastern. NFL Insiders Sunday edition, injury news, early breaking stories. Then at 11, it's Sunday NFL Countdown. Wendy Nix, Boomer, and the gang take you right up to kickoff. Also streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app.
Well, Coach Helfrich and Matt Lubick are talking right now about, do we take the field goal? What about our kicker? Do we try to pull them off sides here because it's a 4th and 2? And we can have a motion and have a snap count to try to get one of the TCU guys to jump off sides. So one of the really first tough decisions for Matt Lubick, and he and his head football coach are going to look at it very closely.
Abe Schneider, the place kicker, is firmly on the sideline. And we'll see. The Ducks look like they're going for it on 4th and 3 yards to go. Lockie, low snap again. Handoff, first down and more. Now there is a penalty flag on the play. So we'll see. If the play stands, they got it.
Illegal shift, offense. Clearing motion while the linemen going down to their stance. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
That's huge. Instead of a first down, it's 4th and longer.
Well, and we didn't get to see it there, but everybody's got to be set for a full second before you can have anyone in motion. And they said the wide receiver moved before they had it set. Good for Mark Helfrich going for it. Execution wasn't there, and now you've got the long field goal.
This would be 47 yards. It would be the career long for Aiden Schneider, who's been very accurate this year, kicking indoors. That kick is on the way, and it is good. The most accurate kicker percentage-wise, if you combine it all, extra points and field goals in the country this year. But they didn't ask him to kick from distance very often. That one good from 47.
Well, when you score as many points as they do, they're averaging about 44 a game. You don't usually use your kicker, and you can see Mark's faked a punt. He's going for it on 4th and 2. But the young man, when you ask him to do his job, he's shown confidence. He's kicked it straight through. That's such an asset. 21 of 23 field goals. You know when you need those 3, you can call on him, and he will produce.
Oh, Aiden Schneider right into the nets. Speaking of celebrating its 11th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. 31-0 Oregon. Even with Boykin out, I don't know that anybody saw this kind of domination coming. The Ducks are at 374 yards of offense in the first half. They've been balanced. They've thrown it. They've run it. Kickoff. And even those have been impressive. Another touchback. The offense for the Ducks, they've done it in a lot of different ways.
They have, and it's all been led by this quarterback. Perfect throw, one-on-one situation. They match him up with a safety. We knew how big and strong and fast Freeman is. He plants his foot. He turns up inside. He runs through Summers. And then you've got speed with all these young guys. And they've got so many guys that when they touch the ball, they've got a chance to score. They put so much pressure on you. Carrington, what a great tribute to his friend that he lost, because that friend is watching him play tonight, and he's very, very proud of the effort. All of their skill guys are playing well. Very, very impressive performance this first half by Oregon.
Final 32 seconds. TCU will get Turpin into the open. Turpin with all that speed. How about the safety with speed of his own? Charles Nelson, just like Turpin, he is not a big guy, but man, is he tough.
Well, he plays big. He plays all over the field. He's a guy that can play corner, safety, running back, receiver, all special teams. They said, when does he get tired? And they said, he's really smart and he never gets tired. You love watching him play.
This is likely the last play of the half. So TCU just taking a chance, throwing it downfield. That one's incomplete, and it is the end of the first half. All Oregon, 31-0 over Gary Patterson at TCU. Now to the studio, the Coke Zero halftime report with Adman and company. The Ducks dominating here in San Antonio.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. It is indeed the Coke Zero halftime report as TCU has played a Pac-12 team.
Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams back with you here inside the Alamo Dome. And look, Mac, we knew when Trevone Boykin was suspended, not allowed to play in this game for TCU, that would impact things. I don't think we had any idea that it would impact things so greatly that Oregon would be this dominant. It's been an array of players, but their skill guys have come to play tonight.
Yeah, it's been tough for TCU. Gary Patterson knew he was shorthanded coming in, but nobody thought we would see this. You got to give Oregon credit, and a lot of it goes to this young man early. It's a two-deep coverage. He gets locked in man-to-man, and the ball is perfectly thrown over his head. He makes a very good catch. Then he goes up one-on-one with O'Mealy, and he out-jumps him. And then he catches a short ball at 6'2", 195 pounds, and turns it up and makes the play. So he and Vernon Adams really got him started.
Our first half stats brought to you by Interstate Batteries, and just as lopsided as the score, 376 total yards for Oregon. TCU, the only turnover in the red zone. Oregon was perfect. Third down, TCU did not convert a single one against one of the softest third down defense statistically in all of college football during the regular season. We highlighted the offense in Carrington there, but everything that Oregon did in that first half was impressive. TCU will take a knee, a touchback, and we'll go down to Allison Williams.
Talked to Gary Patterson at the half. He said we were our own worst enemy. A couple on the touchdown drives for Oregon. They had him in 3rd and long, couldn't get off the field. And then, of course, the blocked punt that Oregon was able to convert into a first down. If you'll notice, Gary Patterson looks a little different here in the second half. He is wearing a purple shirt and visor. Yes, he changed clothes to try and change the energy in this game. He said black wasn't working, so I switched it. As for whether or not they will switch quarterbacks, Bram Kohlhausen has played the whole first half, but they told us yesterday we may see Foster Sawyer. He said he didn't know, he was too busy working on defense, but Doug Meacham said it's not likely.
They will run forward, throw backwards, and try a trick play with a nice delivery. into the open field, and a good start to the second half for TCU. You might as well empty your bag of tricks with Aaron Green on the receiving end from Tony James.
Well, you have no pressure now at halftime. If you're TCU, you have messed up everything the first half. So you tell them to go play, have some fun, start back over 0-0, and let's get back in this ball game.
Now, one thing, I'm not saying it's a total parallel with no Boykin. TCU will hand the ball off here, and a nice hole for Green into Oregon territory right away. Last year in this game, UCLA was just about as dominant against Kansas State as Oregon has been in this game tonight. It was 31-6 at halftime. Bruins led. It ended up being a 40-35 final. So recent history here in the Alamo Bowl says that on the turf where offense can come maybe a little easier, a comeback is possible. Now we'll see if TCU can pull it off. Green, first down, Horned Frogs on the move.
Well, and we heard Mark Helfrich worried about sacking those bats too early and going home and feeling too cool. And right now, Oregon has not come back with the same energy and enthusiasm, intensity as they left at halftime.
Another handoff, and that one down with a penalty flag thrown from behind. It would have been a gain of 5, maybe 6 yards, but I think this one will come backwards.
Holding, number 74 offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Second penalty on Vaitai in this game. The offensive line has been beaten by the Oregon defensive front.
Yeah, and Big V's got to mess with DeForest Buckner all night at 6'7", 290. So he got a really tough assignment coming into this ball game. We were down 35-7 against Oklahoma State at home, then 35-14 at halftime. Told the guys at halftime, we have got to play better the second half. We're going to win the game. Won the game 56-35. So you never know what happens in the second half.
Did you change your shirt?
I didn't change my shirt, but we did have Vince on. So it did help some. Yeah. We got momentum. We started going up tempo. We did a lot of things that TCU's doing right now. Let's get back in the ball game. They were down at Oklahoma like 30-14 late and came back and tied it up. This team's not going to quit.
No Vince Young for TCU, so Gary Patterson changed the wardrobe. That's a nice turn upfield and a first down TCU. Well, more positive things are happening on this first drive than at just about any point in the whole first half.
Yeah, Jamison Stewart makes a good catch here. He turns up inside. We're seeing a more comfortable quarterback for TCU. Everything's working right now.
That was for 18 yards. This is for much more. Inside the 10. It'll be first and goal. Sean Nixon with the catch, and you can see the Horned Frogs trying to play quicker.
And I promise you, this will help the defense play better. They'll see some hope, and this gives them a chance to pick it up on defense as well.
First and goal, good defense that time. Number 33, Tyson Coleman. He's been impressive as he tackles Kyle Hicks in the backfield.
Yeah. And you heard Mark Helfrich when he was talking to Allison at halftime. They're up tempo. They got speed. You can score a lot of points very quickly. You do not want this momentum to change if you're Oregon. I know it sounds like we're saying, hey, it's 31-0, you fools. This is still a ball game that could turn, and Mark Helfrich knows that.
And we don't know about Vernon Adams. I mean, Oregon's offense could be totally different without their star quarterback. Kohlhausen in the pocket now, trying to run, goes into a slide. I think that was a good decision.
Well, it was, but he is playing much more comfortably on this drive. He's looking better with his body language. He seems to be talking to the players better, calling the plays. So I expect him to have a good second half. I can see why Meacham stayed with Bram instead of making the change at this time.
Vernon Adams, the Oregon star quarterback, who was knocked out late in the first half, and we don't know whether he will be available to come back in for the Ducks. They have stuck with Kohlhausen. Third and goal from around the 10. Sprinting right and keeping it. Now that's an interesting call. Oregon was ready for it. The tackle at the 6-yard line. Do you think that means they're prepared? Well, I think they're sending the field goal team out there.
No, you got to get some points. You've had nothing happen positive in this ball game. Get some points. A lot of time left. You'd rather have obviously 7, but you can get 3, then go play defense, try to get it back, get it to 10, to start getting back in the ball game.
If you're going to kick the field goal, I don't get that play call at all. I mean, I just, maybe Kohlhausen thought he saw an opening and just made a play on his own. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Well, they got those points, so there is something positive. Still down, though, 31-3. Adams, you see him out of his pads. I think that tells us all we need to know. Here was the hit in the second quarter, and as we looked at it over and over again, it was he is a ball carrier, so he's not a defenseless player, and the hit came with the shoulder pad, not the crown of the helmet. It was rightly not called as a targeting, but Vernon Adams is not coming back in this game, and who knows, Oregon so dominated the first half. He was a big reason why. We'll see if that helps TCU get back in things. Nelson with that speed to the 30, and he makes a man miss. Nelson across the 40. The dynamic playmaking ability of Charles Nelson. Wow, is he fast. Now that Ducks offense comes back on the field, but not before Nelson gives him good field position.
No, good blocking, but this guy's got vision. Started up the middle, had a misdirection with the TCU defensive coverage team, and then turns it up to the right sideline. Good execution, good blocking, but that guy is fast as lightning.
Well, Jeff Locke, who I think it would be fair to say he struggled when he had a chance to play quarterback this year with Adams and that broken finger, missing 3 games. Hands it off to Royce Freeman with that cut upfield. Freeman, he's tough to bring down. Wasn't a whole lot of running room there, and yet he gets out near midfield for a nice gain of 6 yards.
Outside zone play, and he has so much patience that he ran sideways till he could plant his foot, see the crease, and turn up inside for a 6-yard gain.
Now the snap goes right by Locke. He wasn't ready for it. He's got to get on the ball. He does. It'll be a big loss for Oregon. They don't have their center and their quarterback now, and that is clearly impacting things.
Dave, it really happens. We've seen some bad snaps, but in this one, obviously, Lockheed's still calling the play, and that center Doug Brenner didn't realize that he snapped it. He got his head back down, puts him in a very difficult spot, and now you're 3rd down and forever. So TCU, a little more momentum if they can get off the field on 3rd down.
Huge loss, and they'll just hand it off to Freeman, who breaks a tackle, but not a second. Travin Howard gets him on the turf. So Oregon goes backwards, and they're going to punt the ball back to TCU. Look, we're a long way away from saying that the Horned Frogs are really back in this game, but the fact that the center and the quarterback are both out for the Ducks has slowed this high-powered offense down enough to where you feel like it's a possibility.
I'm telling you, you don't want momentum to change with a bunch of young people. It's hard to get it turned back.
Ian Wheeler, the punter. High, fairly short kick. Turpin with the fair catch signal. It hits the turf and takes a TCU bounce and goes out of bounds. Maybe that momentum starting to turn. 31-3. Oregon leads. We'll be back. Well, it was all Oregon Ducks in the first half. They led 31-0 at halftime. A few things have started to turn in the direction of TCU now. Part of it is that now both teams are playing with their backup quarterbacks. TCU has been all game long. Bram Kohlhausen hands it off. Green is swapped and driven down for a big loss by that defensive tackle. Alex Balducci has made some real nice plays.
Yeah, he started 27 straight games. Coaches told us yesterday Balducci needs to penetrate and make some plays like he did that time from the line of scrimmage to help this defensive front.
And part of that is so much attention blocking-wise, scheme-wise goes towards his fellow defensive lineman DeForest Buckner, that there is opportunity for plays to be made.
Absolutely, and it should.
2nd down and long, pressure immediately. Kohlhausen on the move across his body, and that throw is there. That should have been caught by Sean Nixon. Instead, it was dropped. That would have been a 1st down.
Yeah, there's pressure, but we're seeing Kohlhausen play much, much better. He sprinted to his right. He got outside the contain. He was in a perfect position. Sean's been catching that ball. We tell receivers, you touch it, you got to catch it. So TCU is going to have to start helping their quarterback, make some plays, and get back in this ball game.
That may be the 3rd potential big play that has been spoiled by a drop. TCU has not yet converted a 3rd down. 0 for 8 in this game. They need 13 here. Better protection this time. That delivery on the money, and then a slip tackle for a much bigger gain. It is a 1st down. That missed tackle was the difference. Emmanuel Porter, the sophomore from Dallas. There's a 3rd down conversion into Ducks territory.
Yeah, I remember seeing Emmanuel Porter. You've got no backs. When he was in high school, He's big, he's fast, he ran 4.3, he can catch. I think he will be a star at TCU before it's over.
That was a star-like play, 25 yards. 1st and 10, Horned Frogs. So Kohlhausen, he does look much better now for TCU. A little slower tempo on this first down play. Again, lots of time to throw, dumps it short, and Hicks breaks a tackle himself. Oregon finally gets him on the turf. Vernon Springs made that tackle, and Springs is the player who's down.
Much more confidence with TCU's offense and defense and their team coming out from halftime. They were down 31-13 at the end of the 3rd quarter at Norman. Baker Mayfield on the field for the Sooners, and they came back with a chance to win the ball game. So that's what you're talking about now. This isn't on the road. It's more of a home crowd for TCU. But when you're TCU, you've been in this situation before with this quarterback. It's easy to sell them on guys. We can do this. And we're seeing them play with more confidence.
Yeah, it is true. They have that experience from Norman. Now, Vernon Springs, who is one of the Oregon players coming back to the state of Texas, one of the few coming back to his hometown. And good news for the Ducks is that he gets up and he'll walk off on his own, not looking 100%.
Yeah, he's another really good football player from here in San Antonio that decided to leave the state. He's tough. He's smart. Really good player.
Ducks have a history of bringing some talent from Texas to Eugene.
They do. They've gone anywhere in the country since they've won so much the last few years.
I think the headliner would be LaMichael James. Hand off to Green, who gets swarmed and dropped for a loss. Now Jukes with that tackle behind the line of scrimmage to set up another 3rd down.
And Oregon's got some backups in the game right now because they're trying to stay fresh and really be rested for the 4th quarter.
Maybe 4-down territory for TCU. That swing pass. And a nice tackle, although Turpin lunges ahead and dives inside the 35 to the 34. Reggie Daniels made a good play, but it's 4th down and 2, and TCU is looking like they're going to go for it. They will substitute before they snap the ball.
Yeah, you're not going to see them punt on their side of the 50 the rest of this ball game. Everything's 4 downs. Big play in this ball game.
It is. 2 tight ends, so Oregon gets the substitute as well. Kohlhausen.
They've been blitzing in 3rd and 4th down situations. Be interesting to see if Oregon really comes after them. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
Well, play clock is running out, and they will get the ball snapped. Hand it off. Hicks with a nice cut, trying to get there, and we'll see. I think he got it, and now, especially with that lunge at the end, it looks like he clearly did. It's a 1st down TCU. That was a pretty good effort from Kyle Hicks.
It's a very good effort from Kyle Hicks, and a good job with Kohlhausen getting them in the right play.
That's a big 1st down drive. Stays alive. Under 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. That, I think, was a backwards pass. And now another pass with a flag down. In fact, 2 of them in the defensive secondary. That one incomplete. Dominic Merker, who was a high school quarterback.
Illegal substitution. 12 players in the formation on the defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3-play 1st down.
In a way, it was like a free play for TCU. They could not convert the gadget play, but they'll take the 5 yards, 1st and 5.
We heard Mark Helfrich talk about we haven't finished like I want us to. So I know as a head coach right now, he's frustrated. Come on, guys, we can get 11 on the field. Who's out there? We got illegal substitution. We cannot get relaxed in this ball game. We've got to keep playing with the same intensity we started with. One of the real frustrating things as a head coach.
And Kohlhausen in the shotgun on 1st and 5. Now movement from TCU. So after all that,
false start, number 82 offense.
That's another real
penalty, still 1st down.
That's another real frustrating thing for a head coach.
Back where we started.
Come on, guys. Just play. Can't have the penalties.
Charlie Reed They don't use the tight end all that much in this air raid offense. 6 penalties for 70 yards. It has been a big part of the story for TCU. Those penalties have hurt. 1st and 10. Green down to the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Short gain on 1st down.
If you're Oregon, you're trying to keep them to field goals. If you're TCU, everything's 4th downs, and now as that clock keeps ticking, you're getting down to about 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. No more field goals. We got to start scoring touchdowns.
I think you're right about that. 2nd and 8. Play fake. More flags thrown. Toward that sideline, way over the head of the intended target, Nixon.
Illegal formation. 5 players in the backfield. Offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Just alignment. 2 pre-snap penalties in a row. You've got to have the right spacing. You got to have enough guys on the line and off the line. Come on, guys, don't lose your focus now. You got your tight end that jumps, and now you've got a receiver. Too many receivers in the backfield. Get lined up right. Give yourself a chance.
It was 1st and 5, TCU on the move. Now it is 3rd and 8 after those back-to-back penalties. That second one declined. Kohlhausen steps up, throws on the move. Pass is caught. The receiver, though, had to come back for the ball. Made the catch at around the 25-yard line, Nixon. So that is stopped well short of a 1st down. We got another 4th down spot here. 4th down and a little longer. And I think you're right. No more field goals. Gary Patterson's thinking we got to go.
Well, and Bram could run for that 1st down. That's what he's saying. He's seen Trevone Boykin run for so many of those. Bram's a pretty good runner. So when you've got that opportunity to run, we're trying to make 1st downs and get in that end zone.
I think it's a good point. He is not Boykin. We all know that. He does have some mobility. And there was a lot of room in front there. It cost TCU a 1st down.
Running handed to the receiver. Run.
4th and 5 toward the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. Jalen Austin. .26 yards on 4th down. TCU had to have it.
4-man rush, no pressure. Perfectly thrown ball to the outside. The inside receiver and the outside receiver got too close. But very, very good play. Good throw, but good play by Jalen Austin.
Extra point up and good. Well, the feel of the game has certainly changed. And on a 4th down, the TCU had to have Kohlhausen to the true freshman Jalen Austin. The lead is 31-10 Oregon. But without Vernon Adams, with TCU starting to finally eliminate some of the mistakes that they made throughout the 1st half, the feel of the game, the energy in the building has changed. And after the touchdown, TCU will kick it to Nelson and Oregon. Nelson, this one's returnable. Nelson on his feet for how long? Not long. He's going down. Now the ball comes out at the end. I think he was down, although there's been no signal yet. I thought he was down, but I also thought TCU pounced on the ball. So if they're saying it was a live ball, this could be TCU ball.
Is a fumble recovered by TCU.
Wow. Now that to be taking a look at this. But Kohlhausen's got to get the helmet ready. Let's see.
The ruling on the field, the fumble is under further review.
It might have started to come out. I thought he was down. Is that ball moving?
Ball is definitely out. We've got to see when the knee is down. That's a close one.
I think it's a fumble. I think they got it right. Bill, what do you think?
That ball squeezing out of his arms. He does not have control of the ball when he's down. I think, again, an excellent call by the on-field officials. This should be confirmed by replay.
They've done a heck of a job tonight, Bill, and I'm with you. Live, I was sure that right knee had hit before the ball came loose. You watch it on replay, And I think they got it right.
It looks like walk-on sophomore Michael Downing's the one that came up with the football, number 15.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
Wow. So we already knew the game was changing. Now the special teams turnover, and TCU takes over, trailing by 21, but still 4:07 to go in the third quarter in prime scoring position.
Momentum is a powerful thing, and especially with young people. When it's all working, you can't stop them. When it turns, you have trouble turning it back. So now the Oregon defense has got to blitz. They got to move. They got to knock a ball loose. They've got to get a stop here to stop this momentum from going forward.
Empty backfield for Bram Kohlhausen, who just a moment ago threw the touchdown on 4th down. He will throw here. It's incomplete. Good play on the ball, knocked down by the secondary of Oregon. That's Chris Cisse with a good play. Well, the total yardage said really you could go all the way back to the end of the first quarter. TCU, it's taken them a while, but they have gotten back in this game. They were blitzed early, that's for sure. They got both Green and Hicks in the backfield. Kohlhausen, that looked like a designed run, and he takes a big hit. I think he did well just to hang on to the football. Tyson Coleman once again for the Ducks.
Seniors have to step up and get this momentum back, and Tyson Coleman has been a guy that's made plays all night. Baldussi forces him outside, and Coleman steps up and makes the play. Very good stop. Now you're at 3rd and 9. Still 4 downs.
I don't know if Kohlhausen, he's run the ball, it looked like by design, a couple times in this second half. They have not been good plays. I don't know if he's doing that on his own or what. 3rd and 9 here. In the pocket. Kohlhausen. Now he will run. Kohlhausen dives and goes up and over and is down at the 1. That was a pretty courageous play by the senior.
He saw it unlike before. He sees he can run and get the first down. He tries to dive to get it in the end zone. He's probably unaware of where that stick is for the first down marker. But now this young man is playing with a whole lot more confidence.
Not quite John Elway in the Super Bowl. Kohlhausen tried to get there, and now he has to come out. He may have knocked himself out. Foster Sawyer, the redshirt freshman, now comes in. And I don't know if he got the wind knocked out of him or what. On 1st and goal, Turpin did not get there. Stacked up by the Ducks.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a speed sweep, so we're seeing Kohlhausen come back in. Timing wasn't very good. That one had to get outside. It got turned up inside for very little to no gain.
All right, so now Foster Sawyer back to the sideline. Kohlhausen gathers himself and gets back in.
You got 3 more downs to make a yard. No field goals left.
And if they do punch it in, we got a ball game. Handoff. Stutter step. Close. Touchdown. Aaron Green. Mark Helfrich may be wondering, did he actually get in? And it was close. Let's see if we can tell.
The ruling on the field of touchdown is under further review.
Is he down before that ball gets to the goal line? I think he's down.
I think he's down too. We'll bring it back. It's going to be about a 3rd and 6 inches.
So they are going to take a look upstairs. One thing that I have always appreciated about the SEC officials is not only do they usually get it right, they usually don't take a long time to get it right. They are very decisive in the replay booth.
These guys are having a good night because just about every review they've gotten right. So now what you're doing, if you're the offensive staff, Doug Meacham is talking to Sonny Cumbie upstairs, and they're talking about the 3rd down play. So you've got to feel like you've probably got information upstairs. It's probably not a touchdown. So they're talking right now about the play, and you can see Green's frustrated. Sonny Cumbie, one of the bright young coordinators in the country, coaches their quarterbacks. He and Doug Meacham, who came in from Houston, have really turned this TCU offense around in only 2 years. It's amazing the change in the numbers.
All right, we're going to get our ruling. Ruling on the field was touchdown.
After further review, the ruling is the ball did not break the plane of the goal line. It'll be third down at the half-yard line.
Well, TCU fans aren't happy. They got the call right, though. And again, now you got two. This is as close. Look at where they're spotting the ball. They're putting it as close to the goal line, but not in, as you could possibly get.
And you're probably quarterback sneak, but you got to remember, you don't have your starting center. You don't have your starting quarterback. You're 6 inches away with some big guys in the way.
Okay, now you're a foot away. They moved it back a little bit.
Now you're a foot away. It's still probably going to be quarterback sneak. He is up under the center. They're in the shotgun a whole lot. But I would think that they're going to try to pound it twice.
And they're going to have to burn a timeout. My goodness. And after all that and the delay of the review, you got time to think about the play call. And they can't get the play off. And that shifting, that motion, everybody was confused. And Gary Patterson, and you made a good point, Mac, because he has turned the reins over this offense. And it's been one of the big stories of this TCU program these last couple of years, how they totally changed their offensive philosophy. And he's been very trusting of his guys, but you could tell on that one he wasn't real happy with the offense.
Well, no, and Doug Meacham won, but you got a backup quarterback that's played very little in as much pressure as he can possibly be under. So I'm not sure, probably one of the guys was not supposed to go in motion. I never like motion or shifting down around the goal line. Line up and run your play, because the odds are more that you'd screw it up, or somebody jumps, or somebody turns up too soon. Line up, run the quarterback sneak, get the ball in the end zone, kick your extra point, and we got a ball game.
Yeah, part of the problem when you're down like this, those timeouts are so precious.
And now we're back in the shotgun.
Third and goal from the shotgun.
Tight end in the backfield.
Handoff. Green gets stuffed. In fact, he lost a yard, maybe more than that. Henry Mondu, Alex Balducci.
You've got Bud Jones in the backfield. You tried to run the inside zone play. Very good penetration by the front from Oregon. They've got to make a stop here. Somebody got to step up at Oregon now and start making plays.
Well, they are one play away from getting what would be a monumental stop. It's 4th and goal, and it's not the half-yard line. It's not the 1-yard line. They're back around the 2.
Now you might move your quarterback, run an option, get something outside.
Hicks behind. Play fake. Trying to throw. Now trying to run. Kohlhausen. Touchdown. Give him credit. That's the second touchdown here in this second half. Both of them on 4th down plays. Must-have plays for TCU.
And I think he's feeding off the positive things that happened in Norman, Oklahoma with their comeback. And the team is feeding off the same thing. And that staff saying, we've been here before, guys. Now we got us a ball game.
Well, the turnover on special teams gave TCU the opportunity. It wasn't easy, but in the end, they punch it in. That's the turnover. And they got the call right. It was very close, but ruled a fumble. They looked at it, and it was a fumble. This was the 4th and goal play.
And now he's run for 2 big plays to make first downs and on 4th down. And this is the type thing he has to do to be the extra element to give them a chance to win this ball game. As we said, he's not Trevone Boykin, but he is a guy that can make plays with his feet.
Now you can see why TCU has stuck with him in this game. Just an entirely different feel. Part of the story, TCU without their starting quarterback, and that kid getting the start. He's not really a kid. He's been around this system for a long time. But now Oregon playing without their starter. And the Alamo Dome has come to life.
Fans woke up. I always thought the fans should wake up before the team does, but they always do afterwards.
That one will be a touchback. While we have a moment, a quick check of the studio with Adnan Berg.
Thank you very much, Dave. SportsCenter right now presented by Great Clips. It has been one of the stories of this college basketball season. The superb play of the freshman Ben Simmons. LSU has taken on Vanderbilt. He's got 7 points right now, although coming in he's averaging 19 and 13 this season. Once again, it's over on ESPN2. A close game right now if you want to check out one stud everybody's talking about. For now, back to Dave and Mac.
All right, thanks, Adnan. Well, this one has gotten a lot closer, that's for sure, from 31-0 to 31-17. And the Ducks offense on the field back. They've hardly run any plays in the third quarter.
Interesting stat, 21 plays for Oregon the first quarter. 26 plays the second quarter. In this third quarter, they've only run 3 offensive plays.
And they've got their backup in now. Jeff Lockie in the shotgun. Freeman with a big hole and a tough run outside the 30. Close to the 31. He got 5.5.
Your best players now have to step up and take the momentum back in this ball game. You can see Vernon Adams saying, let's go. Play fast. Play fast. Get our momentum back.
On second down, Lockie hands it to Freeman again. Freeman will get close. It'll depend on the spot. I think forward progress. He got a first down. It is a first down, Oregon. A much needed first down for the Ducks.
Much needed first down, and this will be the end of the quarter, but what a great third quarter for TCU. They've turned it around, and now we got us a ball game for the fourth.
All Oregon in the first half, all TCU in the third quarter. We do have a ball game. On to the fourth in San Antonio. Oregon 31, TCU 17.
This is a
17 Oregon. Everything about this game has changed, including the wardrobe of TCU's head coach. Let's listen.
Did you change outfits to change up the mojo in this game?
Yeah, black wasn't working.
Indeed it wasn't. If it were only that easy, right, Mac?
Yeah, well, both these teams wear Nike gear, and Texas had enough Nike gear that I promise you, it's been the way they've played. They get the deep throw for a touchdown. You got Brown running in and diving and fighting for yards. You're knocking balls loose on special teams, but I think it goes back to Gary Patterson is a very confident head football coach, and at halftime he said, it's not working, but we're okay. Keep playing. And that's kind of the smile he gave Allison coming back out on the field. I'll change clothes if that'll help. We need to change a bunch of stuff.
Sometimes a little sense of humor can help. So start of the fourth quarter, another snap that was low. Freeman, though, took the handoff and made a nice positive gain for Oregon. So that could have been another disaster for the Ducks. The center and the quarterback exchange has become a big issue in this game.
Yes, and you start looking at it, both are young players that haven't got a lot of experience, so they're going to give it to Freeman, and they're going to make the big guy carry the load here in the fourth quarter.
Freeman spinning off tacklers, and he'll get the first down. Nice run for Royce Freeman. Down on the sideline, Allison Williams.
That center quarterback exchange becoming an issue with both backups in at the position, so Oregon trying to go to a verbal cadence to help with communication here.
And that gets tougher when you see the TCU fans getting back in it and the noise level's up. So he's going to the sideline. But now they're all still looking, but he's having to talk to the guys to get them lined up right. Noise could be a factor in the fourth.
Again, Freeman gets the carry, and you figure they are going to want to ride him and try to figure out a way to win this game that they led 31-0 at halftime.
Yeah, game plan just changed. It's called Freeman right, Freeman left, Freeman outside, Freeman inside.
Well, for at least one play, he's out, and Benoit is in as the tailback.
Slowing it down a little bit more, not going as fast.
With this positive yardage on this drive, Oregon's up to 18 second-half yards. You think they miss Vernon Adams? That would be a yes. Benoit got drilled. Got a yard, maybe two. Derek Kindred with the big hit and the tackle. So now it's third down.
Yeah, Derek's a very good football player and a leader for them. High school running back out of San Antonio himself. But those seniors for TCU have to step up because this is a huge third down.
Huge. They trust Lockie to throw the ball. Benoit empties the backfield.
Could be quarterback draw.
Low snap on the turf. Was he down? Apparently not. And yes, he was. He was down. Oregon thinks it's got a touchdown, but his knee was down. Lockie, when he went to get that low snap.
Quarterback recovered the ball with his knee on the ground. It's 4th down.
Wow. What a huge turn that is.
Once again, low snap. It bounced.
Good call. In the heat of the moment, they got it right again. I mean, that happened fast. That low snap it's just happening over and over again with the backup center, Doug Brenner. And Lockie, if he could have kept, I mean, he made a great throw to Darren Carrington, who took it all the way.
Well, and very good of Mark Helfrich to say, hey, keep your head up, pick it up, pick it up. He's that type coach. Very positive coach. He doesn't need to be beating that young man up when you got 12 minutes left to play.
Fair catch from Turpin, who lets it go over his head, and it takes a great bounce for Oregon. It'll be down inside the 10 around the 7-yard line. So that is beautiful execution from Ian Wheeler, the punter. Timeout here in San Antonio. That was a game changer, that last play. And now the special teams pins TCU deep. They'll have it when we come back. The ESPN app. And maybe they'll have some of the kind of drama that all of a sudden we have here in San Antonio, where that right there has changed the game. The center quarterback for Oregon has stalled their offense. TCU with all 17 since halftime, and now the play is blown dead. Another pre-snap penalty.
Snap, false start, number 28 offense. 5-yard or half the distance to the goal, still 1st down.
So even worse field position for TCU. There have been way too many of those for the Horned Frogs in this game.
Can't do it. You can't have comebacks with those type penalties. They're backed up. This is a key part of the game. If you're Oregon, you've got more pass rushers in the game because you figure TCU is going to loosen it up, and you've got Prevost and Buckner in the game at the same time inside to get more pressure on the quarterback.
Well, you're right. It is a chance here for the Oregon defense to make a big play. Play fake. Kohlhausen throws incomplete. He threw it behind his intended target, Porter. It's 2nd down.
And not only does TCU need to get it out of here because they don't want to give good field position to Oregon, but they can't have the turnover. And you're sitting now at 2nd down and 15 because of the penalty. So you've got to be really smart. You're in a tough spot. You can't have a short punt. You can't have a block punt from the end zone. You don't need an interception. So critical series with an inexperienced quarterback.
We're under 12 to go. 2nd and 13 from inside their own 5. Kohlhausen going to throw again. Good protection. That one is caught, it looks like. Yeah. That's a catch outside the 10 to the 14 by Sean Nixon. Well, I think he caught that.
Looks like they caught it to me, and TCU's trying to go really fast, so there's no question.
Now Kohlhausen is way back there. Almost like he was faking a booch punt. Now they'll throw deep. Caught! Aaron Green out near midfield, a gain of 36. How about that play?
Yeah, it looked like he was faking the pooch punt. Had the tight end down the middle, and then he scrambles. He really could have run for it again, but he turns it and throws it upfield to his tailback, Aaron Green, local kid from Madison High School, for a 1st down.
That is huge. Green's going to get the carry here. Nice burst, jumps over a tackler, and close to a 1st down. Not quite there.
Yeah, Oregon had them in 1st and 15. They had an outstanding opportunity for somebody to step up and make a play, but they're not getting pressure on the quarterback. Quarterback's getting more confidence. Momentum's changed teams. You see him putting the older guys back in now. You got to have your starters out there.
Well, that's Balducci, who is hurting, so he'll make his way toward the sideline. We'll go down to the sideline to Allison.
Guys, TCU's offense is doing this without another key player. Receiver Colby Listenby was taken into the locker room. He was carted off. They had been looking at his knee when he collapsed to the ground and was unable to get to the locker room on his own power. So another key part of this TCU offense missing.
It's amazing. No Josh Dotson, no Deontay Gray, no 2 starting offensive linemen for TCU. The obvious, their starting quarterback, the All-American Trevone Boykin, and yet here they are. They're moving the ball.
Yeah. These 2 head coaches, to me, have done as good a job coaching as anybody in the country. 3-3 at Oregon. Everybody's on poor Mark Helfrich. He turns it. Gary Patterson, who was coach of the year in about every area last year, to me has done a much better job of getting his team here with all the injuries.
2nd and short after Balducci left the game. Handoff Green. That's a first down. Just a couple yards, but good enough, and they will stop the clock just momentarily, as they do on the first down, to get the play set. And now it starts to roll again.
TCU playing much faster than they did in the first half. Oregon's probably slowed it down.
That was a fast snap. Green gets a couple.
You're really in no hurry if you're TCU. You got plenty of time. You've got 2 of your timeouts left. You're down by 14. You just need to get it in the end zone.
Play fake. Kohlhausen steps up. That throw is complete. Jarrison Stewart Nelson had a chance to knock it down. He couldn't get the hand on the ball.
Jarrison's from Horn High School up in the Mesquite area. Caught his first touchdown against Baylor, and now they're moving, lining up fast and playing like Oregon did the first half.
21 yards. Green kind of skidded on the turf there. I don't know if he slipped or just tried to get low to avoid a hit. He does get positive yardage. It's 2nd down, and the Horned Frogs want to keep going fast.
It's amazing what confidence does to a team, and especially at quarterback. Kohlhausen doesn't even look like the same person he was in the first half.
Totally different player, totally different team. It was 31-0. Mark Helfrich wants a timeout, and now he decides not to call. He was walking up and down the sideline toward the official signaling timeout, and then just stopped. Handoff here, and I guess it was a good decision he didn't call timeout, because that was well defended. Kyle Hicks for no gain.
Well, as a head coach, you're walking up, you see something, you're saying getting it straight, and your defensive coordinator from upstairs says, "Coach, we're fine. Let's don't waste that timeout. We may need it," as that clock starts kicking down.
Now, TCU is down 2 touchdowns here. It's 3rd and 8. Can you kick a field goal, or are we in a situation where you got to try to score the touchdown?
You can kick, but you need the touchdown, so you got to get this down to a 4th and 2 or 3.
Receiver in motion on 3rd and 8. Kohlhausen pressured, and the ball's out. It's out on the turf. TCU falls on it. Hicks saw it on the turf and grabbed it. Tyson Coleman, who's playing a heck of a game with the strip sack.
Yeah, and now you kick the field goal because you're 4th and 10, and you need the points. But that's the first time that Oregon has gotten pressure on the quarterback in the second half, and Tyson Coleman's name is one that we've been calling all night.
He's had a tremendous game for the Ducks. Big break for TCU. Jay Noberchrome, one of the best place kickers in the country. More field goals made than anyone in Big 12 history. And add another to that total. Well, maybe you call that a victory for Oregon. They hold the Horned Frogs to 3. But it's an 11-point lead. Ducks ahead 31-20.
You may know us.
It's important to these young people now. They want to win this ball game.
Now TCU tries the onside kick, and Oregon is ready for it. So the Ducks recover, and it may be worth trying for Gary Patterson. Why not take a shot? But the Ducks covered it well.
Yeah, he tried to surprise them, tried to come out fast, but he's got the momentum in the ball game, so he's trying everything he can. Oregon has only run 10 plays in the second half, 5 minutes and 25 seconds. TCU has had 37 plays. They've had the ball 16 minutes and 47 seconds.
Well, that was a tremendous play by Oregon special teams, because I think that was pretty well executed by TCU. Look at the difference since Vernon Adams left the game. I mean, it's a totally different game. Now, you're crying to the wrong team if you're talking to TCU. They've been without their star quarterback the whole night. But Jeff Locke in Oregon, they need to get some offense going. Addison with the catch, and he goes backwards. Out of bounds. I think he lost a yard, maybe even a little more than a yard.
Well, Dave, you mentioned it. It was a great play by the special teams of Oregon. It was a surprise onside kick. There's still enough time left. You wouldn't have thought it. They ran up. They did it quickly. So what a great play by Oregon after momentum has changed. So now they got to turn this momentum back and finish this game.
Under 7.5 to go. Freeman with the carry. Freeman lunges ahead. Inside the 45, close to the 42-yard line to set up third down again. And it will again get loud.
And you're not going as fast. You're trying to get every tick off of that clock as you can, even though that's not the personality for the Oregon offense. TCU may be coming with the blitz.
Low snap again. Lockey heaves it incomplete. They can't get the ball snapped. So forget Vernon Adams. The fact that Matt Hegarty, the center, left this game, that's made as big of an impact.
Well, and TCU is blitzing on this play, and it makes it much tougher. They've got someone on the center's head, so Doug Brenner has got to snap the ball and protect at the same time, and sometimes you worry so much about that quick guy moving on you, something that Haggerty's handled for 5 years.
Now there's Matt with the pads off. I mean, it's the basic foundation of the sport. If you can't get the ball snapped to the quarterback, you can't play football. Fair catch, angled kick, and another great punt. Ian Wheeler trying to save the Ducks in this game. Their 31-0 lead is down to 31-20. We'll be back after this.
The National Championship, January 11th at 8:30 on ESPN.
January 11th, 8:30 Eastern. Right here on ESPN, also streaming live. The Ducks, I think they were thinking, man, if our quarterback didn't go down, Vernon Adams, in the middle of the year, we could have been playing for the national title. But now the story of this Alamo Bowl, their quarterback goes out, and the game has turned around entirely. Final 6:40, TCU gets the ball back. Kohlhausen dumps it short, and the pass is caught with some running room. Nixon, penalty flag thrown, a big gain, but I think it's coming back. So that play worked well, but the hold on the perimeter there should be another penalty against the Horned Frogs. They've had a lot of them.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. The pass is caught behind the line of scrimmage. First down.
Okay, so now that we don't see that one very often, do we, Bill?
No, you don't, but it was, again, a good communication job by the crew. That pass stayed behind the line, so the blocking downfield by the offense is totally legal. Excellent job to pick the flag up.
And you have to stay behind the line, so Nixon caught the ball at the 8. The marker was at the 9, and it was another great call by the officials.
Ends up being a 19-yard gain, so that's a big pickup, and they did get it right, as Bill Lemonnier explains, our rules official, in the booth with us tonight here in San Antonio. Final 6+. Kohlhausen keeping it. Kohlhausen with that ball sort of wobbling around there, takes a pretty big hit, but he hangs on to it, and now he's hurting a little bit. He ended up getting 9 yards or so on that carry, but he's down.
He has really helped this offense by running the ball. It's made a huge difference.
He has. He's taken some shots, though. Tell you what, it's amazing in this game. He took a pretty good one there on the left hip area. Ouch. Rib cage. TCU now, Mac, has more total yards in this game than Oregon does. I mean, that seemed impossible early in this one when it was 300+ to about 30 in favor of the Ducks.
I'm telling you, these games are long. You cannot sack the bats. I've stood there before and said, run, clock, run. What are you doing? There's still 6 minutes left.
TCU up over 400 yards. Oregon has just totally stalled out without their quarterback, without their center.
And now if you're Doug Meacham and Sonny Cumbie, you're over there talking about what do we do with Foster Sawyer? We can't waste much time. We can't waste many plays. And what do we do if Kohlhausen can't come back in the ballgame?
He's going to make his way all the way across this field toward the sideline. Gives us a chance to remind you after the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl tonight. Stick around, Sports Center at night. It's the coach and Max Bredos. They'll have highlights from Nuggets Warriors, all the bowl games, including this one, NHL, college hoops, rest of the NBA. Sports Center at night on ESPN, streaming live on Watch ESPN on the ESPN app. It's taken a while for Bram Kohlhausen to make it to the sideline.
And if you're Oregon's defensive coordinator, Pelham, what do? Do you come after the freshman? Do you try to make him throw it underneath? What strategy changes?
On 2nd and short, a play fake. Sawyer running around, penalty flag thrown to get the first down. But again, I think this one will come back. The Ducks think so as well.
Holding number 68 offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Oh, it was 2nd and a half a yard. They decide to pass, not run. They commit a holding penalty, and now it's 2nd and 10.
Well, and you've got a sophomore that's going to be a great player. 6'5", 320-pound Joseph Noteboom. But you've seen a lot of young guys make some mistakes here for TCU tonight. Future's bright. Puts them in a tough spot now.
All right, Sawyer comes out. Kohlhausen back in.
5-year senior. This is it.
Yep.
He's been waiting for this opportunity since he went to Houston 5 years ago.
Get healthy tomorrow.
Get healthy the rest of your life.
I think it's that rib cage, that left side.
Go from 2nd and inches to 2nd and 11.
The snap. Pressure comes immediately. He takes a hit and delivers the ball on target. And now the question is, can Kohlhausen get up again? DeForest Buckner was right in his face.
What a player that guy is. He is as good as advertised. 6'7", 290 pounds. Comes around the big offensive lineman, 64, because he's matched up on a guard now and hit him right in the ribs.
Right in the sore spot. So it's 3rd and 3. This is a huge play. And Kohlhausen will try to scramble. He dives forward, and he got the first down. What a nice play. In a lot of pain. That was not easy.
What a gutsy effort. They're throwing the quick screen outside. They're throwing it to Aaron Green. He sees it's not there. He's not worried about those ribs. Turns up and makes the first down. So they've taken it off of the goal line. Oregon better make a stop.
That clock is definitely the ally of the Ducks, though. Kohlhausen throws. That pass is caught. The defender fell down. Austin on the move. Down the sideline. Finally out of bounds. Inside the 35.
Very good protection. 3-man rush. Dropping off. Defender falls.
Now once Chris Cisse slipped, 29 yards all told for Jalen Austin. Now that chunk play helps. Clock starts to move again. We're approaching 4 minutes to go. If you're joining us late here in San Antonio, it was 31-0 Oregon. Kohlhausen, wide open receiver caught. Another TCU first down. Emmanuel Porter.
First down will stop the clock. They're moving. And now the Oregon defense has been on the field so much they're tired. They're having trouble rushing the passer. So it's changed all of the momentum from the first half.
They look exhausted. 1st and 10 TCU. Under 4 to play. Kohlhausen. Pressure comes toward the end zone. And a penalty flag thrown as the ball gets knocked away. It's Cisse, intended for Porter.
Pass interference. Defense number 12. Penalties 15 yards from the previous spot. First down.
6-4 on 6-1. That's what you try to do. You get matched up one-on-one.
And if you're going to get beat, maybe you might as well commit the penalty. Don't allow the touchdown. Make them earn it.
No doubt. They're trying to still make TCU use as much clock as possible.
Don Pelham's got to be wondering what is going on. His defense was playing well.
It's one of the most helpless feelings as a coach in the world. You can't get them to make a play. So you got to stir them up. You got to blitz, but he's trying to use the clock. He's trying to keep them in front of them. And now TCU needs to score as quickly as they can.
This is what Oregon usually does to teams. They wear them out over the course of a game. The way this second half has gone, TCU is wearing out the Oregon defense. Look at the time of possession since halftime. That is lopsided. Now it's almost like a wildcat. Direct snap to Green. He gets the block from the quarterback. And touchdown. Kohlhausen put the key block on. And now they'll go for 2. Aaron Green's final game, the San Antonio native.
If you look at Kohlhausen, he leads on the quarterback sweep or the wildcat sweep, and he cuts the defender down like a big tree with those sore ribs and knocks it in the end zone.
That's pretty remarkable.
The ruling on the field, a touchdown, is under further review.
Now they're going to review it. Now this is interesting because Kohlhausen comes out of the game. Sawyer comes in for the 2-point. I mean, that would tell you that something's wrong with Kohlhausen, because why else would you take him out? Now maybe this gives him a second to try to regroup. He's got blood everywhere. That's part of the problem.
That's such a good job. He cuts Eddie Hurd, that's 6'3", 235-pound sophomore from Oakland, Colorado. Or California, Oakland, California. And he frees Aaron to get in the end zone. Got to be exciting for Aaron to score in a game like this at home, Madison High School. Now the TCU fans are on their feet and they are screaming. If you're Mark Helfrich, what do you do to try to get this thing turned?
Now, first things first, did you think he got in?
I did.
I thought he did. They're taking a look to make sure. Bill, did you get a good look at it?
Yeah, I think for a couple of reasons. Number one, if he gets the ball, he dives, he's airborne, he gets the ball over inside the pylon. We have a touchdown.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
The second thing is, if you hit the pylon, now you're going to get the goal line extended. So, excellent call again. Good confirmation by replay.
Now, this is big. If they convert on the 2-point try, then you only need a field goal to tie. If you miss it, it's going to take a touchdown. And we're down to the final 3 minutes and 32 seconds of what could be an all-time historic comeback. It is Sawyer who is the quarterback on the 2-point play. They pitch it over, and the throw, 2 points from Nixon to Jones. How about it?
How about it? We got a game with 3:32 left. You can't ever sack the bags and go home early, Dave. You got to play.
It was 31-0, and plays like this have TCU right in it. We'll be back after this. For this game, he has led TCU on a frenetic comeback.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. He's shown grit. He's run the ball. He's thrown the ball. He's broken out of the pocket and broken contain. You can tell they feed off of his energy and his toughness, and they made all the plays in the second half because of him they didn't in the first half.
The biggest comeback in bowl history, Texas Tech over Minnesota back in 2006, 31 points. Tonight, it was 31-0 Oregon. Now, the Ducks still lead this game, despite everything that's happened. But the lead is down to 31-28 with 3:32 to go. TCU has had to burn one timeout in this second half. Possibility of an onside kick? No. It's more like a pooch kick. Addison over the shoulder, bobbled it. That's a live ball. Addison will get to that corner and did well just to get back to the 9.
And you don't onside kick there. You've got 3 minutes and 20-something seconds left. You kick it deep and try to pin them now because a field goal ties it.
Man. So everything was going right for the Ducks. Now nothing going right.
Oregon's in a front to be prepared to stop the onside kick. Addison bobbles the ball, and you put yourself now in very difficult field position.
The guy who's out of the game, the quarterback, Vernon Adams, when they had him at quarterback, 345 yards, 31 points. They have not scored. They barely moved the ball since he left. And that was in the second quarter.
Yeah, it shows you how important that position is. And if you're Mark Helfrich now, you're Matt Lubick, you got to be aggressive. You've got to kill the clock on offense.
Freeman, the running back. They will give it to Royce Freeman. Trying to get to the corner. Now cuts it ahead and gets tackled at the 10. Allison Williams on the sideline.
Gary Patterson is all sorts of fired up. He turned to me before the two-point conversion attempt and said, what's it like to play with a backup quarterback? He said they're figuring it out. I'll tell you what, though, Bram Kohlhausen has not played like a backup in this second half. You guys, he was receiving some medical attention here on the sideline. About 5 people working on him as he appears to have cramps. It is quite a scene down here on the sideline for TCU.
It is loud now when you're talking about your snap between your center and quarterback as well. Confusion.
Play clock winding down. And Oregon may well take a timeout. In fact, they will. I don't think they were even aware on the field.
First charge timeout, Oregon. 30-second timeout.
This is just hard to believe. Oregon takes the timeout. 2:40 to go before the 2nd and 9 play. One more football game for you when we're done at 10:15 Eastern on ESPN. Big 12, Pac-12, the Motel 6 Cactus Bowl. So essentially, when we're finished here from San Antonio on ESPN, also streaming live. Well, and if you tune into that one and it's a blowout early, maybe stay up late. Don't go away, because this game is proof. And especially this time of year, but in this sport of college football, these games, they go on. Teams have a chance for comebacks, at TCU trying for an historic comeback tonight.
Well, and with all the snap problems with the center and quarterback in the shotgun, Mark might want to consider putting him up under the center, even though that's not their offense. It puts them in a very difficult spot here with backup quarterback and backup center.
Oregon can still win this game on offense. Lucky throws incomplete, and he took a big hit.
And that also stops the clock and saves TCU a timeout.
Yikes, that's huge. And not good for the Ducks.
Big 3rd down. You've got 3rd and 9. You've got to make the 1st down. TCU can tie you with a field goal. You're going to have trouble with field position. And now you're in a position where you're sitting here. You can't turn it over, but you've got to make an aggressive play call to try to get your 1st. Could be screen, could be draw, but you've got to probably get it in your best player's hands. TCU's playing tight man.
Low snap again. Pressure again. Lockey dancing around. Throws it away.
Stop the clock again.
Again. Oregon would have been much better off just handing it off twice. It's 4th and 9.
Really good job, man-to-man, pressing them. Pressure on the quarterback. You've got one of the best pass rushers in Caraway that's got 9 sacks for the year that just ran right by him, but he had to throw it out of bounds.
Now remember, Mac, TCU's already blocked a punt in this game. It turned into a positive play somehow for the Ducks.
Or you punt it to Turpin, who runs 10-2.
Wheeler gets it off, and that's a returnable kick. Turpin is not the return man. TCU brings it back, and they'll have great field position. Desmond White this time inside the 40 at the 30. I mean, they're already, with their field goal kicker, they're already about in field goal range to tie the game, but they want more than that.
Well, and what you would like to do is score your 7 here and use as much of this clock as you can. Even though Oregon struggled on offense the second half, with their speed, you don't want to give them the ball back. So try to score and kill the clock at the same time, because the clock is your friend all of a sudden. You've got your 2 timeouts, but you want that clock running. You don't want extra time left on the clock.
I think they'll take the score any way they can get it. Post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One following our game over on ESPN 3. No matter which way this ends up, it could be a pretty interesting trophy ceremony. It was 31-0. Now TCU has the ball back with 2:17 to go into Oregon territory already. And even with those cramps, Bram Kohlhausen, who has played such a great second half, is back in the game. On 1st down, they get the play snapped. Kohlhausen throws short. Nixon for a gain of 5, maybe 6 on 1st down. And now the clock stops.
Second charge timeout, TCU. 30-second timeout.
Now that's interesting. I'm not sure why they would use their second timeout there. That goes exactly. And I was making the point that they need points. They'll take it however they can get it. But I'm with you where they got plenty of time on that clock. I'm not sure I would have used that one there.
No, there had to be some discussion and confusion between the two coordinators or where to go or what play, or maybe they felt like that Kohlhausen needed to come over and talk to them a little bit about where they are. But that was an unusual timeout. 2:07's forever. I mean, both these teams work with no huddle. Both of these teams work on 2-minute offense all the time. So that's not an issue for them. You're not worried about the clock. If you're TCU, you're really worried about the clock. If you're Oregon, and if you're Oregon, you have to be happy that TCU used that timeout and didn't waste one of theirs.
I think you're right. I think the Ducks now have to. I mean, there's Overchrome. He is a good place kicker with a lot of range. We're indoors in a dome. Oregon's got to be thinking about the possibilities of getting the ball back with the game tied, or maybe worse for them. 2nd and 5. Handoff left side. Good blocking. Green. Now finally down. He rolled over the tackler to make sure he got the first down. So the clock will stop with 2:01 to go as they get it set, and now it winds again.
And Dave, let me also say it's a whole lot easier to make those decisions up here than it is on that sideline.
Well, you're right about that. Handoff, Green. Not a lot of room that time. Now TCU now is definitely within reasonable field goal range. But again, the Horned Frogs, if they can get into the end zone, may well just win the game right then and there.
You got to try to score, but you don't want to turn it over. And you do have a backup quarterback, even though he's hot. So you got to be smart, but 7 points puts it away, most likely.
Gary Patterson trying to towel off. It's been a stressful night.
He's not going to change that shirt again, I can tell you that.
No matter how much he sweats. Handoff again. Green, nice cut. And Green gets the first down.
Now you start looking at the clock a little bit because you've only got one timeout left.
Well, you can't let there be chaos at the end where you're trying for a gimme field goal to tie the game. You want to take a shot at the end zone, but you're right. You have to consider that as we approach a minute to go. Another handoff. Green. Ankle tackle. He had some room in front. That clock continues to wind. They could get a first down just inside the 5-yard line.
And Dave, let me say, in the 09 conference championship game, I did get it down to 1 second. So you don't want to get it down to the end.
Under a minute to play. Another handoff. Squirting through. Spin move. Green. And I think he got there. It's real close. With the clock still moving. Now they haven't stopped it. They have not said. Now they will stop the clock. Yeah, you got to get that clock stopped. They're saying no first down.
Timeout, TCU, 30-second timeout. Set the game clock to 28 seconds, please, 28 seconds.
So they put the clock back to 28. But now, and here's the scenario you're talking about, Mac. Because with 28 seconds to go, you don't have a timeout. If you run a play that doesn't stop the clock and also doesn't get in, you better be organized to make sure you can, at minimum, tie this game.
Yeah, most likely they'll run it here to get the first down on 3rd down and then have the clock play and have a couple of throws before they decide to kick a field goal. I do know it. People would get mad at TCU for calling that timeout and letting some clock run off. It's very difficult if you're not sure whether it's a first down or not. So as a coach, you're trying to find the official. Are they going to stop the clock? Can we spike it? I don't know. I can't see an official, and people are going crazy. So that's when the clock's running down. Happened to me in the Nebraska game. You end up just saying, okay, timeout. Let's get our heads straight here, and let's know what we've got. No surprises.
If TCU finds a way, this would match the biggest comeback win in bowl history. They were down 31-0 at halftime. Now down 3 with 28 seconds to go. It is 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Kohlhausen rolling right, looking for the end zone. Instead, he'll throw it away. And now on 4th down, I think you're forced to just kick and tie the game.
Tie it and figure you'll go into overtime.
And you mapped out a course of action If you run the ball, the clock stops to place it after that first down. You can kill the clock with a spike and have a couple of shots at the end zone even without a timeout. They didn't choose to do that. Now Oberkrome's got to knock it through on what is close to an extra point to tie the game.
He could fake it and make it really exciting.
It would be exciting.
He's right in the middle. He'll see him kick a field goal.
Kick is good. And they've come all the way back. From 31-0 to 31-31. And for the Oregon defense, considering the starting field position, maybe you could take something positive out of that, because it looked like TCU was just going to go right in and win the game.
That's a huge plus for the Oregon defense. I think you give them credit for stepping up, because they're going to lose the ball game if they just give in to it. And this is a veteran defense with a lot of seniors that stepped up and said,
Well, you think it matters to that guy and the rest of those veteran guys that you're talking about on both sides? Kohlhausen, while that field goal try was on the way, here's the kick, and no problem.
No penetration. Very good kick up inside.
But even though we thought it was automatic, he couldn't watch.
I've done a few of those. I've said a few, please, Lord. Right before that kick, I can promise you. The thing you love about college football, this is so important to both of these teams and both sets of coaches. And that young man is sitting there pulling for his team, feeling bad that he's out. I can promise you, Trevone Boykin sitting at home feeling bad that he's out. And now they're trying. Here's Vernon Adams trying his best to help Lockie and put him in a position where you win in overtime. Now, you're not going to kick it to that guy. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
This is going to be a squib to try to get it to a big guy.
Well, they kick it deep. Nelson, I mean, this is returnable for a very dangerous guy. Nelson to the 20, out into the open, stays on balance to the 40. Nelson finally dragged down. Why do you do that with 9 seconds to go and 2 timeouts? Oregon can throw a pass down the field, use a timeout, and try to win it with a kick.
Yeah, you usually get sky kick. You've got Addison leading him there with a tremendous block, but this is one of the more dynamic returners in the country. And now you've put him in a position with 9 seconds left and a timeout in your pocket and a really good field goal kicker where you may have a chance at the end to win the game.
I can't believe that they did that. That's a 48-yard return to one of the most dynamic playmakers in the country. And Gary Patterson, I mean, he's thinking what we're thinking. How could you let that happen? That's a mistake by Oberkrome, the kicker.
I'm telling you, you just don't have any clue about that sideline. You'll have kids, you'll tell him to squib it, or I asked one time, why'd you kick it to him? He said, I missed it. I tried to kick it to the right high, I just missed it. Yeah, right down the middle.
9 seconds left. Lockie.
Tight man with 2 deep.
We'll throw it to Freeman. Freeman trying to get to that sideline, gets shoved out of bounds. 2 seconds on the clock. Now you're across midfield. Could you try a very, very long field goal indoors, or do you have to heave one to the end zone?
I think you go Hail Mary. Long field goals we've seen get blocked and run back for touchdowns. So Florida State against Georgia Tech this year. Alabama and Auburn a couple of years ago. Those long field goals have low trajectory, and they can be blocked and headed the other way fast. They'll try to get this one in the end zone.
But likely the final play of regulation. Pressure immediately, and they won't even get a throw off. Should have tried a 60-plus yard field goal based on that. Well, even with the kickoff mistake, TCU survives. And this game, improbably, almost impossibly, is going to overtime.
What a great game. Again, it's what you love about college football. 2 completely different halves.
And they have been trying to get the cramps out of Bram Kohlhausen for this entire fourth quarter. 31-0 at halftime. Everything going the way of the Ducks. Even when TCU blocked a punt, it turned into an Oregon first down. Well, with no Vernon Adams, the offense stalled, and that has given a chance for TCU's offense to come to life.
Started with Bram throwing it deep in the corner to Jalen Austin. Came back. Special teams forces a fumble. And then this young man just gained confidence and started leading his football team, even on the block, to get Aaron Green in the end zone. And then they come back with a trick play, field goal, and we've got us a game in overtime. Now, if you're Mark Helfrich, you tell them start it over. We played the first half. They played the second half. We've got to go back and start this thing over. So you seniors, get it going, get it rolling. If you're Gary Patterson, you say we're coming back. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Well, this would be the largest comeback in FBS football this season. It would match the largest bowl comeback in history, 31-point deficit, and we're now tied. Those highlights we were talking about in the second half, 6 possessions, 6 scores, 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals for the Horned Frogs. And the purple shirt has done the job for Gary Patterson. Amazing.
And as easy as things were for Oregon in the first half, it's very difficult to convince your football team that it's not going to be like that in the second half.
Each of these teams has played in overtime this year. The Ducks 2-0. TCU is 1-0 in overtime this year.
2 proud teams.
The coin flip matters in this spot. It determines who gets the first crack and who gets the ball second, which is the advantage with our college overtime rules. That looks like an O. So the Ducks win the toss. And presumably, if they go true to form, then Oregon will play defense first. So they'll at least know for sure what they need to do.
Oregon has won the toss, chosen to go defense first. We'll play on this end of the field.
Well, do they have anything left, the Ducks, who were playing so well when that guy was taking the snaps? Everything has just been a disaster since halftime. But you make one play in overtime, you go home a winner, and you forget about all the bad, and you get yourself a bowl victory and a 10th win.
What's tough about college football, one's going to leave miserable tonight, and one of them played a great half in the first half, one a great half in the second half. The other 2 halves, they didn't play very well. So really important that Oregon gets some momentum back. Do you blitz? What do you do now to come out and try to get your guys stirred up?
I will say this. As bad as their defense has been beaten in the second half, and Kohlhausen's made some really nice plays, that's been a part of it. In the red zone, they have put up some resistance. In this part of the field, that Oregon defense took 2 4th down plays to get a touchdown that just held TCU to a field goal to only tie, not lose the game in regulation. So in this part of the field, they've been a little more effective.
When TCU was good in the red zone, largely because Trevone Boykin could run, and we're seeing Kohlhausen do the same thing now. He's made plays with his feet on 4th down and at the goal line.
So here we go. TCU gets it first in overtime, and they will pitch it to Nixon, to the corner. Nixon will go out of bounds after a fairly short gain. Got shoved, maybe got 3 yards. Marion Springs made the play. Now Nixon is limping, whether that's a cramp or an actual injury.
You think with the number of plays these guys have played at an up-tempo offense for both, cramps could be a factor.
2nd and 7. Little pump fake, and Kohlhausen's running. First down, goes into a slide.
And if you're Oregon's defense, you would not think the guy that's been out of the game with cramps would be running a quarterback draw. That's exactly what he was. He faked the screen to the right to get the tired front from Oregon to sniff the screen a little bit, and he turns it up for the first down.
It looks to be like they've spotted the ball just, it may not matter, but just behind that 10-yard line. So it's not 1st and goal, it's 1st and 10 by a half of a yard or so.
It's a hard 10 yards. Gets tougher down in the red zone.
Receiver in motion. Kohlhausen, handoff. And those legs keep moving to about the 7-yard line. Allison on the sideline.
TCU has been pumping players with Gatorade and chews and everything they can to try and keep them hydrated. Several of the offensive linemen have also been taking oxygen towards the end of this game as well.
And you get tired at bowl games anyway. You're at so many functions. You're up. You're standing around. Exhaustion could be an issue here for one of these 2 teams, or really both, in overtime.
2nd and 6. TCU with the ball first. Kohlhausen. End zone. What a catch! Touchdown! Emmanuel Porter, and that was a heck of a catch.
That guy will be a star. He's 6'4". He can fly around 4'3" in our camp. He's really a good football player. What a catch. Ball was thrown a little bit behind him. Absolutely no pressure. So a makeshift offensive line.
Now this is huge in overtime. Extra point up and good. So they take care of the routine and punch it through for the 7-point lead.
Look at this offensive line. A lot of guys haven't played a lot. They haven't started. Got 2 starters out. Ball's way behind Emmanuel Porter. He reaches back, turns his shoulders like you're supposed to as a young receiver, and has sure hands and brings it down.
Tremendous play by the talented sophomore. Meanwhile, the 5th-year senior, Kohlhausen, trying to be the hero. It took until overtime. TCU finally has a lead. We got more cramps on the Horned Frogs sideline.
Offensive guys are saying, you defensive guys, get this thing over with.
They need more tables. Now Oregon gets the ball. The advantage they have is, despite all their offensive problems, they know no field goals. It's 4 downs till you get to the end zone or you lose the game. Lockie, handoff Freeman, and Freeman lowers those shoulders, gets 5 yards down to the 20.
And Jeff, Lockie's experiences as a player haven't been as good as Kohlhausen's, because Kohlhausen did win on the road. It hadn't been as smooth for Jeff.
Yeah, it hasn't been in this game, that's for sure. Since Adams left, they haven't scored. They have 52 total yards. Their longest play and a half is 8 yards.
Got confusion. It's really loud. You got Nelson in the backfield.
Yeah, they're just trying to get lined up. Freeman now motions. Fake it to him. Lockie pressured. Got away once. Not that time.
And we've got to remember, they've got 4 downs, no field goals. So everything is 4 downs, and it's really hard to stop somebody when you got 4 opportunities to make a first. So they're 3rd down and 4 with 2 opportunities to make the first.
Lockie did well to avoid a big loss on that last play.
Matt Lubick's making his money the second half.
What a debut. The good and the bad. Another play fake. Lockie dancing around. It's batted down.
They had unbalance into the boundary. He was pumping, looking like a screen, trying to go deep. TCU did a great job of staying back. There was nothing there, so he tried to go to his secondary receiver.
And now it comes down to this.
1 play to win the game.
Lockie. And he's got Freeman for the first down. Freeman still going inside the 5. What a gutsy play. The biggest play since halftime for Oregon. They had to have it or the game was over.
Yes, you got good protection up front. Lockie moves to his right to avoid the pressure, even though there was very little, and hits Freeman. Sure-handed Freeman. You give it to one of your best players.
They're still alive.
Mark Helford's wanted to snap the ball. Officials were too slow for him.
1st and goal. Freeman stops short. But now you figure you don't have to lean on your quarterback. You can just ride that guy, one of the best running backs in the country. Maybe a time for another reminder of how difficult at times the snap has been. If you don't go under center, you risk that low snap and a negative yardage play when you're so close to the goal line.
And you're probably not going to use a lot of motion or shifting just up the center, but here we come in motion. He's got to get the snap.
Good snap, Freeman. Trying to push his way in. Touchdown!
What a player that guy is. TCU's defense played great, and he just kept moving his feet to finish the run.
It looks like Oregon's going to kick the point after. That was all Royce Freeman there.
Hit in the backfield, hit at the 2, stood up, keeps powering in for the touchdown.
That was Freeman against the defense, and he won. Over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, just a sophomore.
A lot of pride on that Oregon sideline, too. They're not going to lay down and quit. Played for the national championship last year.
Now, same spot here. The game is on the line. You got to make the extra point or you lose.
Your snapper and your holder become critical here. Their names are only mentioned if they mess it up.
Schneider's never missed one of these. Kick is good. He still has it. So now we go to a second overtime, and now it's the Ducks who feeling like they've survived. TCU scored. Freeman bowls his way in. Double overtime from the Alamo Bowl when we come back.
It's very important to know he stopped in the backfield. Pasaric, number 76, can push him in the end zone. That rule's been changed. You can't pull him in, but you can push him in. So that's a legal play by Oregon.
Just in case there was any doubt, on a crazy night in San Antonio, the Valero Alamo Bowl looked like a blowout, looked like no drama. At halftime, it was 31-0 Oregon. And yet when Vernon Adams, who's got the headset on, left the game, the whole game changed. And give TCU credit with their backup quarterback. They have found plenty of offense since halftime. Now double overtime and roles reverse. Oregon, who just scored to keep the game going, they get the ball first this time. We've switched ends. And Jeff Locke and company, they got to do it again. A low snap taken cleanly toward the end zone. Incomplete. Carrington was there, and he just could not quite get to the ball. He was wide open.
Very aggressive call and great call by Matt Lubick. He had him wide open. He really had time, just a little bit too far. And they got the good matchup. They had a really good receiver matched up on an inside guy.
So now Oregon brings Benoit in the backfield. But they hand it off to Nelson. Nelson goes down. I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a few inches. We haven't seen Royce Freeman, who got that touchdown.
Travin Howard's had a really good game. Impact player early. Sophomore. Runs better than 4.6 in the 40. Made a lot of plays around that line of scrimmage the second half.
Where is number 21? I see him on the sideline now. Not in the game. Locke on third down. A screen type play. Addison, and TCU read it perfectly. Denzel Johnson. Now the Ducks, they got no choice. They got to try a field goal, which will not be automatic.
Denzel Johnson from Gainesville, Texas, had 10 tackles against Baylor. So he's been in this type game before. Played at a high level.
Aiden Schneider, who has set his career long for a field goal in this game already. This one will be 44 yards. Second overtime. Good snap. Kick kind of wobbles, but it's perfect. That didn't look real pretty, but the Ducks will take it. So they score first, and now their defense, if somehow you get a stop, you get a turnover, a missed field goal, Oregon can win the game. The pressure shifts back to that guy.
And they're all exhausted right now. They're just playing on energy and excitement. And I will say, Dave, I've had them go through sideways. I've had them go through oblong. I've had them go through end over end. They all count 3 as long as they go through.
And we don't know. Maybe Royce Freeman wasn't healthy. It was unusual, though, that for 3 plays before that field goal try, we never saw their star, the guy who got them in the end zone to keep the game going in the first place.
But now a guy like Buckner's got to step up. See Phil Knight, one of the great guys around sports.
He's got the look that so many Oregon fans have. What in the heck has happened tonight? And yet still the Ducks have a chance to win this game right here.
Like you said, 1 turnover, blocked field goal, missed field goal, Oregon wins. 1 missed tackle, TCU wins.
Kohlhausen and the TCU offense on the field, passing with some pressure coming, and that throw was high. He had his man open over the middle. That was Tony James, but it's incomplete.
Had a lot of pressure in his face, forced him to throw high. Good pressure inside. Man-to-man coverage. They ran the rub route that picked him. They had it wide open, but the pressure is right in his face, and he had to step back and throw it off his back foot and just let it go too high. Good pressure up front by Oregon's defense.
And now it's 2nd and 10. Oregon has gone first here in double overtime, and they kicked a field goal. A touchdown wins it. Play clock under 5. They get it snapped, and the running back was not in the right spot. So toward the end zone, jump ball, incomplete, knocked away. Now that play was not working from the start, and now another cramp for Porter, who made that spectacular touchdown in the first overtime. We saw him hobble to the sideline then to try to get the cramp worked out. It's back.
Yeah, a lot of confusion before the play. The ball was thrown up high. They expected him to jump up and have a chance, but really good sophomore Tyree Robinson for Oregon stepped up and made a really good play.
Yep, good coverage. So now it's 3rd and 10.
You don't want to sack and get out of field goal range either.
You are right. Oregon looks like they might bring some pressure.
They're coming after him.
They do, and they get there. Kohlhausen dumps it off. It is a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That is a loss by Charles Nelson.
Guess who? Charles Nelson again. He just keeps showing up all over the place.
So now this will be a long field goal to try to get us to a 3rd overtime.
They blitzed them. They had man outside. You can see Charles Nelson from safety comes and tackles Kyle Hicks in the open field. Really good tackle.
Well, Oberkrum, he's got great range. He's been one of the best kickers in Big 12 history. This is don't gimme though.
That big tall guy's up inside for Oregon.
From about 46, the kick is good. And we go on.
What a game.
Is there another purple shirt for Gary Patterson?
He's not changing, let me tell you that. Kids are exhausted. They are playing their hearts out.
On to a 3rd overtime. A game that was 31-0 is now 41-41. 2 clutch kicks and the 3rd overtime. Best game of Capital One Bowl mania. We've had true mania here in San Antonio. On to a 3rd overtime, 41-41. It was 31-0 at halftime. Oregon had the lead. Looked like they were going to cruise. The last triple overtime bowl game. You got to go back to the Orange Bowl in 2006. But here we are in San Antonio now. The important distinction, if a team scores a touchdown in 3rd overtime, you have to go for 2. You can't kick the extra point. TCU has it first. Green, carry, big hole. Green will get brought down. Nelson, another big tackle for the Ducks. It is a 1st down TCU, but that saved a touchdown.
Charles Nelson again. Let's go back and remember, Dave, TCU ranked 2nd in preseason. Oregon ranked 7th. These are 2 of the best teams in the country that have overcome so much adversity to get this thing into overtime.
Whole different quarterback situation than we thought we'd have preseason or even pregame. In Oregon's case. Handoff. Green again, trying to bounce it. And he'll stutter step forward to the 8.
Make sure you take care of the football. Put both hands over it.
Remember, Oregon
have a turnover.
Oregon had the crazy game in Tempe earlier this year, which was just insane. Now they had Vernon Adams, but they have experience in games like this that are just going on and on and on. And TCU trying to keep this one going on. 2nd and 5 in the 3rd overtime. Kohlhausen, almost like an option style play. He'll turn the corner. Touchdown. You have to, Gary. Got to go for 2.
They're going to call a timeout and talk about it, but you've been working on your 3 best 2-point plays all week. They get the corner here. The defensive end goes for the pitch. They seal the corner. He stays in bounds. He turns up, plants his foot, turns up. Right near the sideline, but scores. Who would have thought we would have had this type game with Vernon Adams and Trevone Boykin not in it?
I think we saw that look. You mentioned it there. I think he stayed in bounds. It was real close. Tyson Coleman, who's played such a good game for Oregon, that was not his best moment on defense. Let's take another look along that sideline. Does the right foot, or the left foot rather, stay in? Yeah, it did.
It stayed in.
That's a touchdown. So now you have to go for 2. This is part of the overtime rules. After the second overtime, you can't just kick.
And that was to protect the players. You worry about the players. You see the cramps. You see they're exhausted. You worry about their health. And that's why you can't let it go. You really don't want it to go to 6 or 7 overtimes.
Well, I don't think many TCU fans a week ago thought that Bram Kohlhausen could go down in Horned Frogs history. But he's got a chance to tonight. In place of Trevone Boykin.
And anybody went home at halftime, shame on you.
Not many did.
No,
it's still packed.
It's still packed. They might have come back.
Here's the 2-point try. Sprinting right. Now backing up. Pressured. Kohlhausen across his body. Bounced it. No good. So that's huge for Oregon. The Ducks hold on the 2-point try. He knows he had a man there, but under pressure couldn't deliver the ball.
Yes, he was sprinting to the right. And if we'll watch the tight end delayed. He got bumped and fell. Then he had him wide open, but he just couldn't get his feet set to throw the ball in the end zone.
So they get the touchdown, but not the 2. That means the Ducks, if they score a touchdown here, would have a 2-point conversion try to win the game, to end the game.
No more kicks. Guys are exhausted. You love the way they compete. You love the way they play. Killing him. What a competitor. He's the reason they're here.
And his injury is the reason that this game got to overtime in the first place. But here we are. Jeff Locke. Triple overtime. They got to score a touchdown. Toward the end zone. Incomplete. Carrington got his hands on it, but the defense was there to knock it away.
Really good throw by Jeff Locke. He's getting more comfortable. Gave himself a chance. And you jump up, and Corey O'Mealy makes what is a tremendous play because he didn't interfere but knocked the ball loose at the last second.
Now Royce Freeman is back in the game for the Ducks in the backfield. Locke hands it off on a misdirection type play. Freeman tackled short of the first down. He got close to 8 yards though.
Yeah, they acted like he was sprinting left to get the linebackers misplaced, and then it was a delayed handoff back inside. Very good call. Put you in a manageable 3rd down and 3.
And the point you made just a moment ago, I do think Jeff Lockhe's feeling more comfortable now. Low snap, it's on the turf. And Oregon's lucky they get at least one more play. Ty Summers came crashing in. It's just been a problem all game long since Doug Brenner had to come in at center. And that one might be on Locke.
Probably looking up, inexperienced. Ty Summers comes in, a local young man from Reagan High School.
Here we go. Oregon already faced one of these. Another must get. They need 8 to keep the game going. At low snap, Locke pressured, stepping up. Locke throws, incomplete. Well, we saw something else tonight in San Antonio. That matches the largest comeback in bowl history. It was 31-0 and TCU wins 47-41 with the victorious coach. Here's Allison Williams.
Coach Patterson, what a comeback, the largest in bowl game history. How did you guys get it done?
Well, you know, you see what happens when you have to play a backup quarterback, but I thought our kids stepped up in the second half. We got some steps, we got some stops, and You know, you got to give Oregon credit. Good football team. They did a great job. And I really got to give my kids credit. They fought back. It was, you know, they've been doing it all year.
This game did change when Vernon Adams Jr. left, but what did your defense do to make it difficult for Jeff Locke?
Well, the key was we weren't going to let them try to not let them run the football, make them beat us with our arm, and we fought. You know, we got some stops.
You were without your starting quarterback, but what did Bram Kohlhausen show you tonight?
You know what? I told him, I said, can you imagine your dad passed away? He's watching. Can you imagine if you come back? That's what I told him before the ball. You come back and you win this football game. Can you imagine what he's thinking? And he did.
Your team has been through a lot this year. What does it mean to you to get this win?
Well, you know, there's times I wasn't very happy, but for these guys, they got to 11 wins. It's hard to get over in double digit, and for them, just really special. They're a great group.
The purple shirt works.
The purple shirt works.
Thank you, Gary.
Right here, folks.
Amazing. Our Capital One player of the game, and he'll be a legend. In his final game, he starts in place of Boykin, Bram Kohlhausen. What a performance by the fifth-year senior.
What a performance. Guy stepped up, had a horrible first half. Give the offensive coaches credit from TCU. They didn't jerk him out at halftime. They believed in him. They left him in there, and he sure stepped up. I thought after he had the cramps, he didn't look like he had cramps when he was sprinting to throw that ice water on Coach Patterson. So it shows you what the mind can do. And it also shows people don't ever give up. You can't quit. If you're on offense, you can't let up. I mean, if you're ahead 31-0, you can't let up. If you're